It's time to say goodbye to luxury. Or is it? Welcome everybody to the show. We have ourselves a fabulous little show today. Welcome to the Fashion Bunker, everybody. Madison Ray Amorentes, Meustar, Kev, Gloria Recinos, Cinnamon Roll, the Empanada in the house, Nata Dida, Debbie, Amy Pickett, Teresa McGuire, Cinnamon Roll again. I'm Michelle Tarantino. Who cares? Satan Lucifer. Then we got Missouri Kimio, Naked Eyes, Minnie Jeffrey, Joy Love C, Bunny Rose, Nat, Naru P, Jordan Camacho, Idris, Liduvina E, and oh my God, so many people. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the show. Oh, thank you. Madison's like, the skin is gorgeous. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, I have slept finally. Drop the skincare routine. For being 237 years old, I'm not complaining about the skin. Although, like seeing me out and about in real life, you would be surprised. It's not that flawless, like after preparing it for 2 hours and putting on the makeup and doing everything, it's a lot. But yeah, I have oily skin, which helps me stay relatively wrinkle-free. But because I have oily skin, my skin is also really very happy with all the tretinoin that I put on it. If you have very dry skin, Tret is not for you. I'm not a doctor, so I can't tell you what to do either way. I'm just telling you what works for me. But I do a lot of serums, a lot of hydration, and also what I think is really important, if ever you do wear makeup when out and about and you come back home, the first thing I do is I wash my makeup off. I wash my face. I don't leave makeup on any longer than I have to. Like the second I can take off my makeup, I take it off. Okay, I don't like makeup on. And then sometimes you're going to catch me out and about when I'm shopping with no makeup on. I look like a monster. I don't care. I want to have healthy skin. So I try to just hydrate, put a lot of creams on, and as much as I can, and not makeup, right? Of course, for the show here, I put makeup on, but like, we'll go. And also, you know what really works for me? It might not work for you, but thanks to Mahora told me to try out, and by the way, hashtag not sponsored, and also everything I say in this live stream is for entertainment purposes only, not rooted in truths or facts. Everything's a legend, just my opinion. If I have like a day off or I know that I'm spending the evening at home, I will, after washing the face properly, cleansing it properly, doing the double cleansing, then I do my serum. On top, I will put La Roche-Posay's Cicaplast B5 Plus. That shit is hardcore. Like, first of all, it's like a white mask on the face, okay? It is so thick. It like literally like barricades the face. No moisture will exit the face anymore. Everything will stay in, and it is so amazing. The next day, my skin looks like it's healed. Like all the red spots are gone. The blemishes are gone. You know, I'm still going to have my black circles under my eyes, but we'll go. But that thing really helps me. It's not something that I would recommend you put on in the morning before you go to work or to school and then adding makeup on top because it's just so thick. Like you can't really smear makeup. I tried. I've done makeup on top of Cicaplast B5 Plus. Let's just say it's difficult. Let me see if I can add the link for you guys. B5 Plus. Not B5. Not B5. B5 Plus. I don't see any links here. I only see B5. I do get mine imported from Europe, though. So I'm looking here on the American lists. I don't see B5 Plus anywhere. I only see B5. Now, B5 is the predecessor to B5 Plus. So they first made B5, and then they updated the... No, wait. Let's go back. No, I saw the plus on the photo, not in the text. Hold on, let's scroll. No, let's scroll. Sorry, guys, I'm just scrolling. Let's scroll. Let's scroll. Let's scroll. More, more, more. Ah, no. Okay, that's B5. One of those tubes had a B5 plus on the photo. I was there a second ago. Damn it. Hold on, you guys. There it is, B5 plus. Okay, I found it. Oh, it's out of stock. Of course it's out of stock. Damn. Sorry, guys. I found a link to it, but no, that's a sun protection. No, that's different. Yeah, anyway. B5 plus, important. So they do like 40 milliliter, maybe 50, and then they do 100 mil as well. So La Roche, there you go. La Roche-Posay. All right. Oh, who cares? Says, I'm so glad Dacob mentioned redness. That's been an issue for me as I'm getting older. Yeah, redness and you know, black circles under the eyes. What are you going to do about it? That's what it is. We're getting old and ratchet. Embrace the oldidity. The oldidity. I was just talking to Debbie before we started the stream, and we were both like sharing. I'm like, Debbie, I'm in pain all the time. By the way, I was supposed to stream a couple of days ago, and then I got another one of my cramps, and I really at this point think it's connected to the air conditioning, because the air conditioning really messes me up. The air conditioning, like, you know, it hits your neck, like I get a headache, and basically I get like a chest pain. Last year I got a terrible one on this side, and this week I got it on this side. Thank God it wasn't on this side again. Otherwise I would have thought it's my heart. But basically it's like a cramp here. So like still hurts. Like when I move, it's like, oh my God, so painful. And I'm sure it's the air conditioning, because it's like it cools you down and the body gets all cooled down. Then you step outside, it's super hot outside, and then something just like cramps up. You know what I mean? I'm sure that's what happened. And I gotta say, yeah, right, Gloria? It has to be the AC. And I gotta say, this time around, I wasn't scared for my heart because it wasn't on this side of the chest. It was on this side. I was like, you know what? I am so determined to get rid of this bullshit. I'm going to not take any painkillers. I am going to heat myself up as much as I can, warm myself up as much as I can, move very little, and I'm not gonna take any painkillers. And I did it, you guys. I literally, for like 3 days straight, no painkillers whatsoever. The pain is getting better and better. Air conditioning is like turned off or reduced to minimum. Depends, because if you go out and about, every place you go has air conditioning. You can't just demand like Madonna, you know, like turn off the air conditioning before I arrive. Obviously, you can't do that. So I have minimized air conditioning as much as I can. I've warmed up myself and I'm healing. You know what I mean? And I'm so proud of myself that I just kind of like, as they say, swallowed the pain. I dealt with the pain and I went through it. And I was like, you know what? We're going to handle this. We're going to handle this. This is going to go away. I'm not going to take any synthetic medication. You know what I mean? Like ibuprofen or whatever. None of it. None of it. My body will heal itself by hook or by crook. And it did. Thank goodness. So I'm, you know, very happy that kind of that went well. And then, but I was just telling Debbie, like just a couple of weeks ago, I had like 3 days straight with no pain, like no headache, no chest pains, no nothing. And for the first time ever in my life, I said to myself, to my own body, I'm like, oh, thank you. Thank you for being painless for 3 days. And I thought to myself, oh boy, this is the first time in my life where I kind of consciously recognized how amazing it is to have a pain-free day. And I was very grateful for it. You know, in the past, I would take for granted. Yeah, like there's no pain. Everything is pain. It's painless. Obviously, you live your life painless. You know. Now I don't take that shit for granted anymore. Now I take it as a special gift. When there's no pain on that day, I'm like, oh, this is a special day. In the past, it was more like, yeah, of course, pain-free day every day. So, you know, just like these little things that you acknowledge, and as you go along on this journey called life. And hey, it's okay though. You know, it is what it is. We'll take it one step at a time. You know, we'll go. Hi, Positive Foodie. Good morning, Dacob. Hello, Mods and Fashion Bunker. Claudia B says, oh no, what did I miss? Why painful? Can someone fill me in? Joined late. Oh yeah, you can tip the host here. Thank you so much. Actually, we have to play the tip when tip arrived. Thank you. Who cares so much? We still have the camellia to fill. Oh, Claudia, I think the air conditioning messes up my head. I get headaches, and then I got like a cramp in my chest, like here, the intercoastal between the ribs. Terry told me a couple of months ago, like last time I had it on the left side, Terry told me, oh, this is probably, and she told me what it was, and I forgot the name, but Terry knows, and I think I got that now on the right side, but it's okay. It's getting better. Thank you so much. Who cares? We're going for the camellia. We still haven't filled out our sunflower camellia.
Today. Happy Monday.
Thank you so much. Who cares? So we have our little Chanel camellia, and from their shopping bags that I've turned into a brooch, and I am putting in all of the names, and we're doing the sunflower version. I think this is a really beautiful color. So who cares is added to the petal. The petal. Hold on, let me add you. We got to spell it out. But yeah. Here you are. Who cares? You're on this petal right there with a little heart. Thank you so much. We're working on the camellia. Hi, Aaron. Luxury in Miami, Vegas, New York City still seems very alive. Miami and look, we'll talk about it, Aaron, darling, and then we can make our conclusions at the end of the stream. Hi, Nicole Pancakes. Good evening, Dacob at Bunker Fam. How's it going, sweetie? It's a good color, right, Satan? Yeah. It's a nice warm one. It's like kind of like the mustard yellow intense. Oh, Terry, thank you so much. Let me add Terry to
Teresa McGuire tipped $25.
Camellia. So so Terry also says, I'm using a fan to sleep. You can keep the AC minimal. I get too cold easily, but cannot sleep without a fan. Doesn't matter if it's summer or winter. I see. Yeah. I think it's the cold breeze that gets me, because like if the temperature is really hot outside, but then the cold breeze hits me, that's where I get the cramp. But if I use a fan, then it just kind of pushes through the warm air. I think that would work for me too. Or I think it would work better. Yeah, it would definitely work better. But yeah, all right. We have one heck of a show today, you guys. There's a lot of shade to throw. Terry, oh, there she is. We have one heck of a show. And Kenny. Let me add Kenny.
Teresa McGuire tipped $10. From Kenny.
Thank you so much, Terry and Kenny. And yeah. There you go. We added Kenny right here as well. And so I waited a little bit today to stream because I thought to myself, let all the copycats do their streams first, and then I'll do mine. So they have a less of a chance to copy me this time around. So that's why we're doing a late night show. It's really early for some people in Europe, so good morning. Also, I would like to tell you we are totally in preparations for Halloween season. I mean, Home Goods, Marshalls, TJ Maxx, you name it, they're all starting to slowly fill up their Halloween aisles. Look at my, at this point, I think it's kind of a tradition. I'm obsessed with Halloween mugs. So this week's Halloween mug is this one. It has a bit of green. Isn't this adorable? I found this one the other day. It's a spooky cat. Love it. Isn't this adorable. Now, it's not Joanna, what's her name? Joanna Parker. It's Ellie Anna, and they're taking advantage of Joanna Parker not being anymore. I don't know, allegedly taking advantage, because Joanna Parker did all the vintage, cute little ghosts and cats and stuff. And she had a cheaper range that was available at Home Goods, Marshalls, TJ Maxx. But then they stopped their contract with her last year. So this year she's no longer represented through Home Goods, Marshalls, TJ Maxx. It's all the same company, right? So this Eliana company is now doing that kind of vintagey style Halloween stuff that Joanna Parker is famous for. Not that Joanna Parker invented this style, so it's not technically her style, but since it's quite popular and people like this vintage Halloween style, now other brands are also starting to do it more and more. So, debatable. Like, should Joanna Parker be upset? I would be. I would be. First of all, I would be upset if this huge company like TJ Maxx, Home Goods, and stuff all of a sudden tell me, oh, we have to shorten the amount of stuff we're going to order next year, and we're not going to order your brand. We're going to stick to our other brands. I think some shady stuff went down there because, like, she was very desirable. Like, her fashion for Halloween, I call it fashion, but it's decor, like, was very, very, very desirable. Like, people really wanted her stuff. And it was not easy to find. And it was like the Hello Kitty, stuff. Like, how people go crazy for the Hello Kitty stuff at Home Goods? Like, they push you away to rush to get the Hello Kitty blanket, and then they sell it for a huge markup later on. Like, there was that sort of rush on Joanna Parker Halloween decor. And it was like last year, I remember I could not find any ceramics with Joanna Parker. And I was like out almost every day, filming stuff for Halloween for my Totally Dacob channel. By the way, check out my Totally Dacob channel for all pop culture stuff. Currently obsessing over Jurassic World Rebirth, by the way. But so that's the thing, like, the Joanna Parker stuff last year, no, sir, I couldn't find the candy bowls, the sweets bowls, the plates, the mugs. I couldn't find anything except one time at Marshall's I found kitchen towels from Joanna Parker with like a ghost decor with one of her like smiley, cute ghosts. And that's it, right? And then they announced that they're not going to do her anymore this year. And I was like, what? Everybody's like going crazy for her. She's the only thing that sells out. Ray Dunn, nobody wants Ray Dunn anymore. Like, everybody was crazy for Ray Dunn a couple of years ago. Not anymore. Now it's Joanna Parker. But I mean, you can still buy her stuff way more expensive through her own website and through more specialized stores that produce the stuff in a higher quality as well, but no longer at Home Goods and Marshalls. So the Eliana brand, which Home Goods kept, you see, this is why I think something went down there, because, like, why would they keep them but not Joanna Parker? Did Joanna Parker want more money? We don't know. I'm just speculating. But now Eliana is kind of delivering these designs now that Joanna Parker is no longer there. So I'm a little bit suspicious of it all. But hey, it was $5 and it is dishwasher and microwave safe. So we got it. Yeah, you keep pointing at it. I don't know what that is, hence why I'm avoiding it. Okay, so Naru says, love the mug already, cannot wait for Halloween. Christine, how's it going? Joanna Parker had that unique gothic whimsy that's now the standard aesthetic for Halloween, I noticed. Okay, Christine, so Joanna Parker, she is like vintage Halloween. But she didn't invent that. You know what I mean? Like, we have to be careful here. We have to know our history. She's also inspired by like 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s Halloween aesthetic, and she made it her own. She has a very clear signature. She does what she does. And it's very recognizable today. It became very popular. People love to collect her stuff. So now others have started copying her because it's so popular. Her aesthetic is so popular. But also what she does is inspired by the past. So it's like, who's to say, you know, who did it first, right? But she definitely did manage to create a very clear aesthetical design language. And so when you see an item like this that's kind of cutesy, vintagey, immediately your mind, if you love Halloween decor, your mind immediately goes, oh, Joanna Parker. You know what I mean? Even though she might not be the first ever to do that. Nevertheless, she made it her own. It's like, for example, when we say Valentino's color, his signature color is red. It's like you see something in a specific shade of red and you go, oh, that's Valentino. Now, did Valentino invent the color red? No, he didn't. He didn't invent the color red. But when we see a specific shade of red, we think of him immediately. Now, Pierpaolo Piccioli tried to change that when he was at Valentino, and he started doing that particular shade of electric pink. And he really tried hard to turn the Valentino signature color into that electric pink, which he managed to do for a while. But Pierpaolo Piccioli is gone from Valentino. He's no longer there. So we're back to remembering Valentino's signature color being red. Pierre Cardin's signature color is bottle green. So did he invent that color? No. But when I see bottle green, I immediately think of Pierre Cardin. And the same with these vintagey Halloween decors. Like, I think Joanna Parker, even though she didn't invent vintage Halloween, there you go. Exactly. The Lady Alchemy. Thank you. Thank you. You said it best. Yeah, Lady Alchemy says association by aesthetics. Right. Yeah. Oh, Satan. Fun fact, I live in the Halloween capital of the world, but honestly, our Halloweens aren't that great. Why aren't they great? Because you have Halloween all year round? So you're in Salem, Massachusetts? Didn't you say you were somewhere else a couple of weeks ago? I remember the chat. Here, the live chat. I just got an article notification saying Loro Piana is linked to sweatshops. Am I in a time warp? No, you're not. Coffee on Zitel. And actually, this is one of the topics we're going to talk about today. Yeah, Pucci prints, Missoni print. No, Nat, that's different. That's different. The Pucci prints, nobody did those patterns before Pucci. Nobody did, and Missoni prints are not prints. Missoni, oh God, I opened up okay, now we're opening up a huge thing. Let me try to be as fast as possible. Missoni did not invent prints. Missoni invented knit patterns. So what is very famous for Missoni is a very particular technique that they developed of changing colors as they are, yes, chevroning away, not printing, knitting and stitching. So that is very specific to Missoni. So they invented that. Pucci prints are also quintessentially Pucci. Pucci created those patterns, created that print, created those color combinations and they were not done before. So Pucci does deliver something brand new to fashion, to the aesthetics of fashion in a particular time. Those were the 60s. Still to this day, Pucci utilizes sometimes variations of those prints and patterns. Same for Missoni. Missoni still to this day utilizes that stitch knit pattern, and sometimes it looks like crochet as well, with changing of threads of either silk or cotton or wool or synthetics, because the more we progress with time and the more synthetics enter the realm of clothing. Sad but true. You know, I always check when I'm buying just a regular t-shirt somewhere. I'm like, is this 100% cotton? Or is it a blend? Like, what are we talking here? Is it like half, like half synthetic, half cotton? If it is, I don't buy it anymore. I know cotton isn't also the best on your skin, but better than plastic, let me tell you. And it's not going to stink up like plastic. Cotton is also easier to wash. It's not going to turn all weirdly yellow on you, especially if it's a lighter shade, a lighter color. But plastics are cheaper to make. Now, they're also much more difficult to recycle. They're also more difficult to repurpose. Cotton, depending on how you dye cotton, if it's not dyed with a lot of very strange chemicals, although certain countries now have very strict regulations on what sort of dyes you're allowed to use on cottons, meaning more or less toxic for the environment. If you're not using a toxic dye for your cotton and the cotton is dyed with natural, biodegradable dyes, then, like, let's say you throw the t-shirt on the floor, that cotton will become compost with time. It's going to degrade, it's biodegradable, and it'll turn into soil and whatever. Now, if you throw away a plastic shirt on the ground, it's not, you know what I mean. Synthetics are not going to just turn into soil. Not anytime soon, okay? Maybe in thousands of years or hundreds of years, but like, who has that time? So it's just something I think about if I'm purchasing clothing. I'm really much more cautious these days. Actually, I'm very strict these days. I'm not going to buy it if it's not cotton or wool. Now, cotton consumes a lot of water. So technically, cotton is not the best material for preserving the environment because it does consume tons of water. Wool is better because you don't employ so much water in turning, after you shave a sheep and you take the wool and you turn the wool into a yarn that you can utilize for clothing. There's much less water and energy consumption involved. So wool is better for the environment than cotton, but cotton is better for the environment than synthetics. And also in some parts of Europe, well, in particular, actually no longer Europe, but in Great Britain, in Scotland, if you purchase Harris tweed, and tweed is made of wool, Harris tweed is actually, this is really fascinating, in order for something to be allowed to be called Harris tweed, like you get a little tag in the garment, which has its designation, like Harris tweed with the registered trademark, and then it has a number, a serial number, which is connected to the batch of wool from which they wove that tweed to create that garment. And also very interesting to note that for them to kind of spin that tweed, all that wool into the thread, they do it by hand or by foot. They have these bicycles set up and they actually pedal, really healthy for you. You're pedaling, 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 and all the workers are pedaling, and as they're pedaling, the threads are being formed, right? So very fascinating how Harris tweed is made. And also, it's made in limited quantities because it's not like they have the capacity to make so much of it. So it's also much more mindful for the environment. There you go. And moths love to eat it. So if you don't want your tweed coat and you want to sell it, nobody wants to buy it, just hang it out for a week or two and little bugs are going to eat it and they're going to be very happy. You might not be happy, but they're going to be very happy and very chubby and they're going to have a feast. Okay, and this is also how you know if something is natural. If bugs love to eat it, you know it's a good thing. So there you go. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, Satan, yeah, I feel like future generations will be horrified to learn how much plastic and polyester we used in our generation's clothing. Yeah, it's really, really tragic because also, you guys, it's like, it's not like, you know what I mean? Like every time we buy something plastic and then we throw it away, it just piles up to this endless amount of trash that we're piling up somewhere outside of the big cities where we think it doesn't exist because we are not confronted with the pile of trash, that we don't see it every day, but it's piling up and it's not going anywhere. It's just, there's just more and more and more of it. And so future generations, like the kids of our kids, they're going to live in a garbage, in a dumpster. I mean, it's like we're not thinking about it, but we should be. And I know it's not popular at the moment to talk about this stuff, but just because it's not popular to talk about it doesn't mean that we're not going to talk about it. Just like, just because at the moment it's not popular to wear kitten heels doesn't mean that I'm not going to wear a kitten heel if I feel like wearing a kitten heel, even though it's not trending at the moment. You know what I mean? Anyway. And if I do buy plastic, I'm very, very specific about it, you know? Plastic can be recycled. There are special recyclable bins for plastics, for certain type of plastics. So it is recyclable, but it also depends like how is it combined with other materials. So usually like if I buy something out of plastic, I kind of want it to be made out of one material so that it's easier to recycle later instead of it being combined with other materials like a bit of plastic, a bit of glass, a bit of metal. You would technically have to separate that item into all of its components and dispose of each component separately, technically. But who does that? Also very difficult. It's not like big cities offer you an easy solution to diversify your garbage. Some cities have that, most cities don't, most cities don't. So, but yeah, at the same time, I'm very well aware that we cannot really live without plastic nowadays in our society. But at least when it comes to clothing, I don't buy plastics anymore. And when it comes to like plates and stuff, I buy ceramics. This is not a plastic mug, it's a ceramic mug. Like if I buy cutlery, it's metal. The only thing where I get plastic is if I buy a shampoo and it has a plastic container, or if I buy a toy. But I don't throw my toys away. I collect my toys. Now, what's going to happen to those toys once I kick the bucket? I don't know. Maybe some museum will inherit it and be like, oh, it's the Dacob collection. Here we go. It's in the museum. I don't know. But I'm very, very careful. Yeah. So for example, my latest plastic acquisition has been in a Happy Meal. Hashtag not sponsored, but I finally got the miniature pumpkin pail, okay? The Halloween pumpkin pail. Isn't this adorable? There you go. It's from the Lil McDonald's. And I guess they had to make it not be a bucket for whatever legal reason, so they had to put holes in it. And this doesn't move like it's a lid. You take it off fully, and then you have a little hole at the bottom as well. But it does click in. And you got the little pumpkin pail with the 3 faces, and it does say McPunkin. A mini boo bucket, y'all. There you go. So that's as far as my plastic consumption went this week. Oh, one more thing I found also at Marshall's as I found this mug. I also found something really nice. I found this horror sticker book. I thought was really, really awesome. I mean, it's a lot of pages of stickers here, okay? And the original price was $16, but it was $8 at Marshall, so it was half off. But you can see here the ISBN number in case you also want to look for it. There it is, $15.99 US or $21.99 Canadian. Now, it's just stickers, a bunch of stickers. It's amazing. I love stickers. And this is like, they're all creepy horror stickers, like 500 plus stickers to keep you up all night. And I love to put stickers everywhere. So for me, this is amazing. So that's another find that I got this week for $8. A horror sticker book. Wouldn't you know it? Oh yeah, that is a steal. Yeah, just a couple cents per sticker. Yeah, I mean, I'm terrible at math. So how much would it be? If it's $8, 500 stickers, how much is that per sticker? Can anybody do the math? So actually it's more than 500 stickers, but for the sake of like facilitating simpler math, if it's 500 stickers and it's $8 for 500 stickers. Oh, Nat says that's 1.6 cents per sticker. That's a good average, wouldn't you say, guys? Yeah, 1.6. So like a little bit more than 1.5 cent. 1 cent and 6. Wait, what's lower than a cent? What would you call a 0.6 of a cent? A mini cent? A micro cent? Micro? Hi, Damien. Hi, Lunar. Lunar says all plastics can leach chemicals if scratched or heated. So keep your sticker book in pristine condition away from sunlight. Oh, that's a good point. And then the microplastics, honey. A penny is a cent, not Adida. Yeah. It's a nano cent. Oh, wait. Short order cook says 0.016. Gloria says there is nothing lower than a cent. Were there half pennies? I don't know. Hi, Miss B. Oh, wait, you gotta be kidding me. They used to have half cents? Okay. How do they look like? I'm gonna have to Google that. A mill. Oh, yeah, okay. Like 1,000th of a dollar. Because a cent is 100th of a dollar. So yeah, okay, so a mill. Instead of a cent, a mill. Did they used to make mills in the past? Who knew? Hi, Gummy. In the early 1900s, they did away with them. Wait, 1 mil is 1/10 of a cent. So they had mills in the past. Welcome to the Fashion Bunker History Hour, where we learn about money from past centuries. 1 mil equals 1/10 of a cent. The more you know. Oh, really? Lady Alchemy says, I believe before mil was gold. Cha. Well, they still do gold, don't they? Probably we used to have them when there wasn't the euro, says Cinnamon Roll. Ivory Tower says, oh my God, just got here. I'm reading the stream title, Going on Vacation? You are not allowed to quit YouTube. You did not read the full title, Ivory Tower. I know people are going to be like, clickbait later when they rewatch this. If you read the title, it's very clear. But you got to read the whole title. There you go, Ivory Tower. Oh, to luxury. Ah? Yeah, there you go. And speaking of end of luxury, wait, is this a topic about the London situation? Are we filming this or just talking about it? We're filming it. Oh, okay. Fine, let's film it. Just. Hi, everybody. Dacob here. Welcome back to the Fashion Bunker. The end of luxury. And is it time to say goodbye to luxury forever or not? Here's the thing. We have been talking about brands upping their prices, lowering their quality forever now. We have been talking about sales associates not really doing their job correctly and mistreating some clients. We have been talking about also, brands treating their loyal customers in a nice way, but then after a certain other tourists take over the city and return tourist purchasers from other continents spend a lot more money, then kind of you're being forgotten as a return customer of the brand, and then they kind of mistreat you a little bit. And then during the lockdown years, they started treating their local customers good again because all of the tourist travelers couldn't travel anymore. And then after the lockdown stopped and those people could come back to the cities, then again, the local loyal return customers started being treated poorly. All of that we've been talking about for years, and we know about it. But now that the world is facing some really difficult economical challenges that have nothing to do with any weird diseases, nothing to do with antibiotics or anything, nothing to do with jabs, instead, everything to do with just self-created weird economical challenges, now people are struggling to the point where if you are wearing luxury when out and about. And the luxury items that you are wearing are very clearly either branded or recognizable as belonging or coming from a specific high-end luxury brand, like let's say a Rolex, let's say an Hermès Birkin or Kelly, a Chanel bag with a double C logo. You might encounter certain type of problems nowadays that you didn't encounter several years ago. Now, we have heard stories of people getting mugged from back in the 90s and early 2000s already. You remember the episode of Sex and the City when Carrie Bradshaw is walking down the street in her Manolos or Fendi with a Fendi baguette, and this guy, and she just kind of one block, she veers in the wrong direction by accident, and she all of a sudden doesn't know where she is, and this guy comes and wants to steal all her stuff and says, and give me your Fendi baguette as well. Like, he knew the model of the shoes and everything. She's like, what is going on here? Like, they're mugging you for fashion. So we kind of have heard about this already, but she survived. She survived that muggation. And now the terror has been dialed up, not just a notch, but considerably. Matter of fact, this just happened this past week in London, UK. A young man in his 20s was walking in a very wealthy neighborhood of London, really outside of a very reputable hotel, and he had his Rolex on. And somebody stabbed him until they unalived him for the Rolex. So this is no longer a situation where people break into a car if they see something, you left something on the back seat or on the front seat that looks like it's branded, and they break into the car and they snatch it, and then you got to deal with your insurance company, you got to deal with the police, but you're still alive. It's not like you're entering a restaurant or a bar with your Gucci sunglasses and you just put them on the table for 1 second while you're looking at the menu. Somebody snatches them and runs. You survive. This is not a situation where you're walking down the street, somebody grabs your bag while they're on a motorbike in Italy on a Vespa, and they rush off and with your bag, but you have your life still. We have entered another era. We have entered a whole other level of the end of luxury, because now people seem to have lost that border of respecting another human life for the sake of a Rolex. Like, this is a whole other level, people. Like, this is a whole other level where I tell all my friends who live in London, I'm like, now is not the time to walk around being all cutesy and bougie, dressing up, being all fancy schmancy. This is not the time. This is not the time. Because people out there are crazy. Like, they do not respect your life anymore. This is no longer about being envious or jealous or saying, why can you afford a Rolex and I can't? Oh, now I loathe you because you have something I don't have. This is no longer about that weird hate that people have for each other. This is like literally end game, like the last level, and the last level has been reached and breached, and the last level is like, okay, you have something that I don't have, you have something I cannot afford, hence I will unalive you to take it from you. Because not only am I upset that you have it and I don't, I hate you because you have it, to the point where I don't want you to exist anymore. So I'ma stab you until you're gone, and then I'm going to have a watch. I mean, you guys, this is insanity. This is insanity, okay? So when people kind of meet me on the street and recognize me from my channel, and thank you everybody for being so kind to me, because whenever I do meet somebody, people are very, very, very kind. They're very gentle with me, and I really, really love to meet my viewers, because I notice that my community is always very gentle and very kind. So it always makes me feel very hopeful for the future. But you might be surprised when you see me out and about. I'm not going to be carrying a Birkin. I'm not going to be carrying a Chanel bag, okay? Because I want to live. Because some people throw shade at me when I take a photo of me being on the street, walking around, for Instagram or something. And then they say, oh my God, why are you wearing cargo pants and that cheap ass shirt? I'm like, first of all, I'm comfortable wearing them. Second of all, I do not want to look like some freaky rich person on the street. Like, that is so tacky, so out of touch. It's just not who I am. And, if you have a problem with how I look on the street because you think I look like a bum, that's your problem. That's not my problem. I want to live and I want to survive, okay, these really difficult times as best I can. By the way, you guys, the hotel where this young gentleman was stabbed until he was unalived, the hotel is right in front of Harrods in London. Like, we're not talking beside Harrods. Harrods has a gazillion different entrances. Everything is in front of Harrods. So, we're not talking about, okay, it's some like bougie area of London, but it's like not central. We're talking Harrods Central. Okay, so the hotel is besides Harrods. The guy steps out. Somebody stabs him, grabs the Rolex, runs. And the poor guy bled to unaliving on the street. They couldn't save him. So, I don't know about you people. I don't know about you, but I think this is really, we have to kind of wake up and smell the coffee. This is no time for showing off luxury. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Like, you have to count your blessings, okay? Call a spade, and dial it down, not a notch, but 20, 30, 40 notches if necessary. And if it helps you survive, you act crazy. You act crazy, you give yourself a tick. Oh, I'm not joking. I'm not joking. You know how many times I survived the subway in New York because I acted crazy? I wouldn't be sitting here with you right now if I didn't pull a total asylum lunatic crazy shtick in the subway from time to time, just like so that they leave you alone. Like, we have to become actors at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to become actors, and we have to be ready to look. Yeah, exactly. Gummy in the live chat says, bark at them. If you gotta bark, honey, if I have to bark to survive, I will bark. Okay? I will bark. I will meow. I will do whatever it takes, because life is precious and I do not want to lose my life for a freaking Rolex. Are you kidding me? And it's not just a Rolex, because you might be sitting here saying, well, Rolexes are very expensive, blah, blah, blah. Okay, fine. Let's talk about a Labubu. I just saw a person getting punched in their head because they have a Labubu on their bag and somebody wanted to take their Labubu from them. So we're not just talking about tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of some luxury goods. We're also talking about a freaking Labubu that's like, if you buy it at Pop Mart, is around about $25, depending which Labubu you buy. $25 to $35 to $40. Like, I do not hang Labubus on my bags when I go out and about. I just don't. Period. I don't. You guys, these are crazy times we're living in. And to top it all off, yeah, we're like struggling to make ends meet, paying the rent, buying food. I'm like, but still I see hundreds of people lining up in front of Pop Mart whenever there's a new Labubu launch or a new Skull Panda launch or whatever limited edition. I'm like, so you are struggling to make ends meet, but you can take a whole day off work or whatever. You have enough energy to stand in line all night from like 2 a.m. all the way until they open in 10 a.m. Like hundreds of people waiting to buy a freaking Labubu. So you have the energy for that? So I don't think you have any economical trouble then. If this is something that you're totally fine with doing, then I don't think the shit hit the fan yet for some people. I really don't. I really don't. Because this is insanity. This is insanity. What's going on here, people? And so this brings me to the point where luxury is not only dangerous to our lives at this point, like luxury is dangerous for our lives, but it's also become vulgar, like really, really vulgar. It's become like a very strange status symbol that people adorn themselves with in order to passive aggressively scream at you that you don't have what they have. So it's not something that many people wear nowadays in order to just enjoy the beautiful things, the brand's heritage, stuff that the brands have been making for hundreds of years in some cases. And they're just so happy to have something that is going to last them a lifetime, that they're going to pass on to their kids one day. No, it's like, no. This luxury brand makes 10, 20 collections a year, and I always have to have the newest thing, and I'm going to wear it with the fattest logo I can find so that when I'm out and about, I will scream passive-aggressively to each and every one of ya bitches watching me that I have it and you don't. So that's what luxury has become. It's become this very aggressive, passive-aggressive screaming around everyone, screaming at everyone surrounding you that you have something they don't. And I'm like, well, if that's what luxury has reduced itself to, and then one of the people that are in the crowd that you are passive-aggressively, silently screaming at, they step out and say, not anymore, you won't. And then they pull out a knife and then they end up snatching the bag off of you, but you lose your life. Then what are we talking about? This is luxury? It's over. It's game over. This is not the time. So people, be safe. Use your freaking mind for once. Okay? This is no time to show off. This is no time to feed your ego by going out on the street and saying like, look how bougie I am. I can afford it and you can't. This is no time for that shit. Really. Be safe, people. Let me know your thoughts down below. Subscribe. Thumb up the video. Bye. Y'all, seriously, has become a time of red paint thrown back in time, real fur. Oh yeah, PETA loved to throw the red paint on people with fur. So, like, you guys, I was shocked. I was shocked. They're like, oh yeah, unalived for a Rolex. I'm like, wow. Yeah, no. I mean, come on. That's really, I mean, the fact that we even have to like explain it, you know what I mean? Like, it goes without saying. This is insanity. Man, oh man, let me tell you. So hold on, let me just mark that as talked about. Oh, so Dacob, your ability to film a whole video in one take never fails to impress me. I see so many other fashion content creators who can't get through a single sentence without a cut. You're the best. Thank you so much, Satan. And listen, here's the thing. I've noticed that, like, when they start editing one sentence, this is like 3 edits in one sentence. I'm like, you can't do one sentence at least in one take? No? We're going to cut through that as well? But you take my content, you take my idea, and then you make your own video out of it. Yeah, I've seen that happen too. And you still can't make a sentence? Okay. I did the whole work for you, basically. And they forget key points and then add them later. Yeah, Nat. Yeah. I look at my bags at home and enjoy them to go shopping. I take something normal. Oh, Nikki. Me too. Me too. Yeah, I just take my tote bag, my freebie tote bag, and cotton canvas tote bag on my shoulder. One strap is almost falling off. Like, We're good. We're good. We're totally good. Oh yeah, not CNN. Yeah. Oh yeah, you noticed. Yeah, everything's being curated. It's showing. Yeah. Imagine if the life was lost over a fake Rolex. Like, how did the creep even know it was a Rolex? I also think he was being followed. I think so, because how would you know? I mean, it's summer, so maybe he was wearing short sleeves. So if you're wearing short sleeves, then you see a watch on the wrist because it happened in summer, right? On a warm day. Mm, 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 mm. Ivory Tower, full sentences while streaming. My social anxiety couldn't. Well, you collect the energy, you get strong, and you just plow through because there's no other way. Like once the lights are on, the camera's rolling. Like there's no way out. Where can I run? I can only say I'll be right back and put it all on pause. But otherwise, there's like no place to run. You know what I mean? Yeah, they pay attention to what you wear for sure. Yeah. Oh. Oh my God, no, I did not know that. Did you hear about the man, I think it was in France, who was being held captive by people trying to get his Bitcoin wallet password? Oh my God. Mm-mm. Wow. Okay, Nat CNN says, listen, I come from a place where social inequity is so big, people are unalive for a phone. Luxury signaling to me is stupid. Mm. Yeah, Gloria, when it's action time, it's action time. There's no escaping it. I'm really sick of all the social media flex, Cairn, the Birkins and Rolexes and Chanels. It's completely ruins what we love about these items. It does, and I'm tired of it, you know? And a lot of these brands, like, who can afford it? Who can afford such high levels? And I'm not talking a bag here and there. I'm talking Ferrari money. I'm talking you got $1 million to drop every couple of months. You know, you're spending $1 million here, $1 million. Yeah. Like we're talking that level of luxury. Like that, it's become money laundering. To me, at least, it seems so. And I think that a lot of the luxury brands go along with it. You know, they know who their customer base is. They know who will spend a certain amount of money on certain products, and they cater to those people. And that's why we also have all the tackiness. You know, enough said. Yeah. Because I mean, ain't nobody gonna earn billions fairly. It's just not possible. You gotta do something ratchet to have that amount, you know, to reach that level. And then when you reach that level, the luxury brands are like, hi, welcome. Come here. Come to us. We love you. It's it's all become quite ugly, you know. Um, so yeah. And Jeff Bezos, I see who went to your wedding. Thank you. We're keeping track. we're we're keeping track, and it's very, very. I'm like, okay, okay. Leonardo DiCaprio also went, apparently. Can you believe? Leo, Leo. No, you didn't have. Why? Why, Leo? Why did you? Weren't you all about charity events and special things? No. Leonardo DiCaprio is like, no, no, let me, okay. All right, Leo, I see you. And Oprah. Hi, Oprah. I see you, girl. I see you too. We all see you. That's all. He was low-key hiding it right, while wearing a baseball cap. Sure, because like nobody recognized him. Girl. Mm-mm. Yeah. But hey, to each their own. In other news, can you believe Aish just sent me this a couple of days ago. Uh France, so in the 70s, and I had no clue about this. This is hilarious. In the 70s, um the Pharaoh, the Egyptian Pharaoh, Ramses II, uh, who was in the 1970s, by then he was 3,000 years old or more, dead for over 3,000 years. Um, his mummified body caught a fungus. So who knew that even 3,000 plus year old mummies can get sick? Apparently, you're never out of trouble, even after you're dead. He caught some fungal infection, and Egypt couldn't cure it. But France was working at some new technologies, and in the 70s, France apparently had means to heal the mummy from the fungal infection. So Egypt had to send Ramses II to France in 1974. Except, surprise, surprise, France has a law. I don't know if they still have the law, but in the 70s they had the law that even if you're dead, you need a passport to travel to France. So the Egyptian government issued a passport for Ramses II, the Pharaoh of Egypt, with a photo of Ramses II as a mummy. Oh, honey, he was skinny, okay? He was like, oh, like all shriveled up on the photo. And there's like, you can Google it. There's an actual picture of his passport page with Ramses shriveled up, 3,000 years old. And they sent him off to France with his passport. I kid you not. And upon Skinny Legend, right? Emotion Engine. I kid you not. And upon his arrival to France, because France is very much about dignitaries arriving, treating you with the protocol. As Ramses landed in France, okay, 3,000 years plus after he kicked the bucket. Oh, Brenda, thank you so much. Thank you.
Brenda tipped $15. Thank you for who you are. I'm not always around for the lives, but always loving and supporting as I can.
Thank you so much, Brenda. Let me add you to the Camellia. And so France, hold on, let me add Brenda. There you go, Brenda, you're right here. Did they present him with a Hermès scarf, says Grace? Okay, so that's the joke. They waited for him on the tarmac or whatever it's called, like the landing thing of the plane. As the plane landed, like France organized a procession for him. Like the dignitaries of France, everybody was there to salute him like they would if you were the president of some country or the king of some country. So they took out Ramses and everybody was there. The press was there. Like there was a whole thing. They drove him through the city like they would a dignitary, highest dignitary of some country. And then they cured his fungal infection. How bougie. And Ramses was cured of his fungus. And then they sent him back to Egypt with his passport. Isn't that a doozy? Could you imagine? Satan says France can be so unserious sometimes. Nat says he wasn't admitted because they thought he was overstaying his visa. I said, thank goodness they didn't send him over to the US. Could you imagine? And border control, they're like, so Ramses, how long are you planning to stay? How long are you planning to stay here in the country? And Ramses is not answering because Ramses kicked the bucket 3,000 years ago. And they're like, are you choosing to plead the fifth? The Fifth Amendment? The right to silence? Is that what you're pulling on us? Because we have the right to not let you in. So are you going to answer the question? Why are you entering the country? And Ramses is still in silence. And, and then they're like, well, then sorry, you have been denied entry. Deported. Poor Ramses. Ramses and his fungus were sent back home. Grace Loves Fashion is asking, where was the fungus infection located? We do not know. I mean, we don't want to know. But the French knew how to cure it. Nikki says, give him the Hermès scarf named C'est la fête. Right. Oh, yeah, no esta for Ramses II. He's not from Europe. But also, you know, he's like, yeah, I want to get rid of the fungal infection. Oh, yeah, and of course he's talking like he's a valley girl, because obviously Ramses II, duh, 4,000 or 5,000 years ago in ancient Egypt, of course it was valley girl. Hello. Like, ancient Egypt is the original valley. It's like the valley, okay, before like any other valley. Like, that is the original valley. Like, what do you want? So Ramses arrives and he's like, okay, oh my God, like, I totally gotta get rid of this fungal infection. But like, once the fungal infection is gone, girl, I gotta go to Hermès because I really want a Birkin. And like, because like, I want a special Birkin made just for me because after all, I am a Pharaoh. Okay. So I would like to have a Birkin made out of camel. Yeah. Little camel Birkin, you know. And yeah, the crocodile Birkin, sure. Everybody has a crocodile Birkin at the Nile. But I want a camel toe Birkin. Like, yeah, right, Gloria? Like, for sure. And then they finally took Ramses II to Hermes. And then they showed him the camel toe Birkin, and he's like, gag me with a spoon. I wanted it in pink. Ugh, not beige. Who do you think I am? Who do you think I am? I wanted it flashy pink. Okay? Yesterday. Get on it. The camel toe Birkin, yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, they could have contacted Ramsey with a Ouija board to answer the border patrol questions. Yeah, he did not need any powder before his photo was taken. That is, oh my God, we are so bad. We are so. You see, this is why we're all going to hell. This is why you're my people. So there you go, Ramses. Now you know. Next time you're traveling to some foreign country, and you're at the border, and they're asking you questions, just remember, even Ramses II had to go through it. And then ask yourself, what would Ramses say if they asked him this question? Ponder those thoughts, you know. Just use a filter. But it's France, so remember to declare photo alterations. Oh my God. Hi, Holly Grace. How's it going? Oh my God, hello. I'm so glad to be here and see you. How's it going, sweetie? The Ouija board would have to be a board of hieroglyphs. Yes, of course. A lot of scarabs, a lot of weird creatures, alligator things, and then, or crocodiles, and then they're all going to be kind of, you know, and of course they're going to talk to you. They might snap, but they'll talk to you. Yeah. And yeah, Gloria, exactly. Hell is going to be like, hello, yes, we have a reservation under Fashion Bunker. And we're like, how many are we? Almost 80,000 at this point? Yes, we have a table for 80,000. Mm-hmm. Lucifer said it's on the house tonight. It's on the house, okay? So there you have it. Nat says a cheesy story. Depending where the fungus was, It could have been quite cheesy indeed. So that's that. Now I am going to entertain you with another topic. And actually, this one, hold on a second, because I did take a screenshot of it, darling, but I don't know where it is. I'll find it, you know. Oh, Sandra, thank you so much.
Sandra_W tipped $5. You made me lock on my way to work. Thank you.
And you know it was a good laugh. If I made you laugh on your way to work, you know it was a good one, because it's not easy to make someone laugh while they're on their way to work. So that is a huge compliment for me. Thank you so much, Sandra. Let me add you to the Camilla. And have a great day at work, Sandra. Sandra's on the camellia pedal right there. Have a great day at work. So I remember taking a screenshot, but you know what? Maybe I forgot to. Hold on, let me double check. Because you guys, I mean, maybe I didn't. It's a possibility. I'll find it. I'll get it. I'll get it. Hold on. Nothing is charging. Thank you so much, Sandra. This was the best. My cheeks hurt from laughing, says Nat. Yeah, there you go. And wait, hold on. Let me. I can't for the love of me. Oh man. You know how sometimes Instagram doesn't want to load past chats? I don't know why. They're just like, no. And it takes forever. So we're waiting. The Ouija board would have to be a board of hieroglyphs. Oh, I read that one already. Yes. Oh, right, Gloria. Okay, you know. Yeah, it happens. Was there? Yeah, it's not doing it. Oh, maybe if I. You mentioned Jurassic Park Rebirth earlier. I haven't heard your thoughts on it. Who cares? I have a whole review on it. What do you mean you haven't heard my thoughts? I have like a 2 hour or over 1 hour review on Jurassic World Rebirth on my Totally Dacob YouTube channel. It's my pop culture channel. So go check out my review there. It's a very fun movie review. Yeah, Totally Dacob. It's another YouTube channel that I do for pop culture, like toys and movies and TV shows. And there's a lot of information that I have. Okay, I don't know why this is freaking me out now. I don't know why it's doing this, but it's not opening anything at the moment. So it's just some random. No, it's not going to help me. Being right back is. Holly, I'm trying to open your message and it's not working with the link to the article about Hermès. So I'm just going to say hi. Can you send it to me again? Because it's not loading. It's not loading your past messages for some reason. It like keeps kind of giving me the circle, you know, that like waiting circle. And I don't know why it does this. Let me close the app. Sometimes it does that. And then you have to reopen it. Okay, now it's loading. Okay, so it's actually, yeah. Got it. Yeah, no, I have it. But it's a video anyway, so. But, so, okay, let's do this. So, it's loading at the speed of, I don't know what. Okay. Let's do this. I have. Okay, let's do this. Just when we thought that the end of luxury was nigh, now we're like on the other side of it, you guys. Something just happened that I never thought would happen. And I mean, to the point where we've been talking about Chanel upping their prices, lowering their quality, and everything I say in this video is for entertainment purposes only, not rooted in truths or facts. Everything's alleged and just my opinion. So Chanel allegedly lowering their quality, upping their prices, the greed of it all. People kind of stopped buying, other brands like Prada lowering their prices all of a sudden overnight without stating that these are sales. Just like after a price increase, the new price is the new price, there's also a price decrease, which is now the standard price. Like overnight, certain items just got reduced in price. Burberry did that as well. Other brands did that as well. The only brand that was really thriving and growing and did not have any issues so far was Hermès. But something happened that I never thought would happen. Okay, let's put it this way. I thought it might happen, but not so fast and not to the degree in which it happened. So my friend Holly Grace sent me a link. She was shocked. She's like, Dacob, did you see this? So it's a link to a video. And I can post a link to the video down below later, but I'm filming this video live in front of a live virtual audience. So this video will go into post-production, and then when I publish it later on my channel, then I can add the link to the video to it, just letting you guys know. So anyway, basically, I was shocked when I watched this reportage from the news in China. They say that in 2025, Hermès performance in the Chinese market has collapsed. The news of Hermès, 94% crash in sales. I was like, did I read this correctly? I mean, we're not talking, oh, there's a dip in sales. There's like a 10% dip. There's a 15% dip. No, people, 94% crash. The article here, I'm reading from the description box underneath that specific video that I'm quoting from now. They say the news of Hermès 94% crash is shocking to many. Hermès has always been a powerhouse loaded with cash, never short on sales, and raking in profits. But this year, everything changed. For the first time, the brand has taken a brutal hit. The annual report from Hermès Chinese agent Ai Peiqi shows net profit plummeting from 367 million yuan to a mere 21 million yuan in 2024, a jaw-dropping 94.2%, nearly wiping it out. On top of that, the company slashes its workforce by 20%, cutting staff from 560 to 456 employees. This is the first time Hermès has faced such a steep decline in China, a clear sign of the high-end consumer market slump. Plenty of people still dream of owning Hermès, but their wallets are empty. This is, I'm shocked. So this is from the China Observer YouTube channel. So credit to the China Observer YouTube channel. They have, you guys, 729,000 subscribers. Okay, they're approaching 1 million subscribers on their China Observer channel. This video got 54,790 views. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it sounds pretty legit. I mean, you never know, but I'm like, allegedly everything. There's a whole video reportage about this. You guys, I never thought that Hermès would fall 94% in sales. That is beyond tragic. This is the apocalypse of luxury. And this is no longer the end of luxury. This is the apocalypse of luxury, okay? And to the point where this is, yeah, Holly says, this is huge and no one is talking about it in the luxury space. We are now, baby. It's like Hermès has a bias aura around them and can do no wrong. Oh, honey, everybody can do wrong. But also China is going through economical struggles. We get it. Holly says, people are still in denial about the state of the luxury industry, even with the facts. Yeah. To the point where Holly and I were joking at a certain point. I'm like, oh my God, what is... So basically, up until a year ago, you enter an Hermès boutique and you're asking for a Birkin or a Kelly, and they're like, oh, so sorry, we don't have one for you. And we were the ones saying as customers, I know you have one in the back. Now fast forward to 2025, I can imagine us entering an Hermès boutique in China, and you can imagine them saying like, hey, psst, psst, would you come here. We have a bag in the back for you if you want. You know, now I don't have to say anymore. I know you have one in the back. Now they're coming to you to tell you, hey, we got one in the back. And then we were like, and fast forward to 2026. Okay, just 1 year from now, what are they going to offer us next? Like next year, it's going to be like, hey, we got a special offer just for you, just today. You buy one Birkin, get one half off. Just today, just for you. And I'm like, no, stop it. Oh my God, just leave me alone. I don't want to be bothered. Fast forward to 2027. They're going to be like, listen, Linda. You buy one, you get one free. Or, you know, well, how about we sweeten the deal in 2028? In 2028, we will pay you. We will pay you to come in. We're going to give you the Birkin for free. Just please photograph it on your social media and show people that you love it so much. You know what I mean? Like the level that we have fallen to. And I don't know if this is going to spread like wildfire to other continents as well, because obviously the Chinese market allegedly collapsed when it comes to Hermès. And they loved their Birkins and Kellys. Like for them, they loved them. You know, it's like a big status symbol. It's like showing off like, look, I have made it. I am worthy of being in society because I have these expensive European luxury brands. Sad, but hey, that's it. Well, oh my, how the tides have turned. Now, I wonder if this slump is also going to hit other countries and other continents. I don't know if it's going to happen in European countries. I don't know if it's going to hit America, but it could. We're not there yet. I haven't heard anything about their sales plummeting 94% in the United States. I have also not heard anything about Hermès sales plummeting 94% in European countries. This is the first time that I hear it, like that it's happening in China and nobody's really reporting about it. So you heard it here first after you've heard it at the China Observer, of course. But within our little tiny, you know, luxury community here on YouTube, hey, unless you hear somebody after I post this video a couple of days after me starting their video by saying, do you know? You know, I wonder, nobody talks about this, but in China, nobody is buying Birkins anymore. Do you know? And I thought I'll be the first to make the video for you. Let me know your thoughts down below. All shade aside, love what you love, but no matter what you do, never give up on love. Love you loads. Bye. Thumb up the video, subscribe. Oh yeah, Nat. And my manager told me I need to address it. Holy Grace, it'll be 3 weeks from now, Dacob, LOL. They'll throw in a pair of Oran sandals for free to sweeten the deal. Yeah, I know. Joy Love C says, I know, you're imitating. Let me tell you. Or I could go even further. Should I be all drunk for you as well? Should we do like another thing? If you don't want to buy Birkins, I don't care because I can afford it. And I'm going to take my bag with me in my car. I'm going to drive off in the sunset. And you don't have to buy anything. I can afford it. and scene. And then we delete the video the next morning after we wake up sober-ish. But you know what? I know Grace loves fashion. Yeah. Oh, we need the New Jersey the New Jersey accent, Steven. So it makes total sense in terms of China sales, China luxuries down the toilet right now. Brenda knows. I'm telling you, Brenda. IYK. Yeah. But you know what? Things are getting even worse. I mean, we can stay in the realm of Australia if you want, because the shade doesn't stop there, actually. No, the shade just grows and continues. It just gets, I don't know, dare I say, more and more titillating as we progress with the show. The shade doth grow because the shade on this channel might not be a shower, but it's a grower. Ah, Nikki for Stella, thank you so much.
Nikki for Stella tipped $15. Best start into the day here in Berlin. Thank you, Dacob.
Oh, lots of love to Berlin. Oh man, I love it when I have Berliners watching. 'Tis the end of the weekend. I hope you didn't spend your entire weekend at Berghain. I hope you had a little bit of dignity left. Oh, those summer nights at Berghain. Nikki for Stella, here you are, sweetie. Nikki's like, no, I got some dignity left, okay? I got some dignity left. Brenda says, what a wonderful day to start my day laughing with Dacob and the Fashion Bunker. Thank you, Brenda. Lunar, get your popcorn ready. We're going on a journey down a shade land in down under. Yeah, down under. And actually, let me just, yeah, okay, got it. Did I take a screenshot of that? Because at this point, we'll go. I have one screenshot, and then I should have another one. Ah, there it is. Oh, Nikki for Stella, let's go to Berghain together. Cha, you can peel me off the floor if I go to Berghain, girl. There's no exiting. Welcome to my crib, says Holly Grace. Y'all, this is a doozy. Let's talk about it. Down under. Oh, this is such a sad story. Such a sad story. Oh, man. Mim, prepare your tissues. You and hubby, prepare your tissues, okay? And all the other people, you know. Everybody, prepare your tissues. Well, well, well. Chanel is in trouble. Sales are plummeting. Who knew? And it's starting as far away as possible from France and London because they have moved their center of operations in London. The Baconator sits in London. Everything I say in this video is for entertainment purposes only, not rooted in truths or facts. Everything's alleged and just my opinion. Oh, Chanel, Chanel. What is going on down under? Here, as reported by some of the reports going on LinkedIn and other places, on the Australian, we have reports that profits in Australia for the French fashion house founded by designer and businesswoman Coco Chanel. I love how they love to explain this because maybe not everybody in Australia knows this, but yes, Coco Chanel founded the brand Chanel. Duh. Have shrunk by almost 87%. Let that sink in. Sales in Australia, the Chanel fashion house, have shrunk 87%, as per the Australian. And they have shrunk 87% to $6.69 million, partly driven by, according to its ASIC accounts, a $10 million jump in its employee costs. Look at Chanel and Lina Nair trying to play that game of blaming everybody else but themselves. Chanel, are you trying to tell us that your sales have plummeted 87% because it's the fault of hiring employees? Because it's the fault of hiring $10 million. I don't know if this is Australian dollars. I believe it's Australian dollars. Could be US dollars. In employee costs. Are you trying to tell us that you're losing this money because you're paying employees? Seriously, Chanel? The Australian performance reflects the tougher trading conditions experienced by Chanel globally, resulting in a 30% slump in operating profit. Asia Pacific, its worst performing region, recorded a 9.3% fall in sales. Now, we have seen this going on for some time now. Every time there's a problem, Chanel comes out, either Bruno Pavlovsky or Lina Nair, and then they state something to the effect of, no, everything is fine, you know, it's just that we spent a little too much money here, a little too much money there. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Now you're claiming that, kind of, if we read between the lines, you're saying, look, we spent too much money on hiring people, so we're going to fire people. That's our problem. You think that's your problem, Chanel? Really? So how about we talk about what I think is your problem? How about we talk about your bags that were $3,000 or euro just in 2015 and are now $12,000 in 2025? Just 10 years later, you went from 3,000 to 12,000? In which world does inflation work like that? In no world. Not in our world. I don't know what world you live in, Chanel, Lina, Bruno, and co. And then the quality. Now, everything I say in this video is for entertainment purposes only, not rooted in truths or facts. Everything's alleged and just my opinion. And allegedly, your quality has fallen when it comes at least to your leather goods. And I have returned a few of your leather goods after purchasing them directly from your Chanel boutiques. And for those of you who are new to my channel, feel free to check out my past videos from 2022, where I bought one of the first 2022 bags the 22 bag from Chanel, and it started peeling 20 minutes after wearing it. So I had to bring it back to the boutique, and they thankfully did refund me. And then I had to return several other bags, leather bags that were just subpar quality. Now, why doesn't Chanel ever address the greed of outpricing themselves out of the market? Pardon me. Why doesn't Chanel ever address that issue? Why don't they ever talk about the enormous, ginormous price increases that they've been doing ever since the pandemic? Why don't they talk about constant complaints being received from many clients across the globe who claim that what they buy from Chanel isn't good quality? Shoes that fall apart that they buy at Chanel after wearing them a couple of times, the insoles peeling off, the heels falling off, the bags peeling, the logos falling off, the belts falling off, the chains cracking. Like, what are we talking about here? Leather that looks like it's pleather, even though it's sold as leather for tens of thousands of dollars. But no, that's not the problem. No, according to Chanel, the issue is different. The customer is to blame, the sales associates are to blame, but Chanel is not to blame. No, we're never going to look in the mirror. No, we're never going to look in the mirror. No, absolutely not. We're not going to admit any fault of our own. It's always somebody else's fault. Somebody else made the mistake. It's not our mistake. It's your mistake. You, the customer, should be ashamed of yourself for not making us rich enough. So that now we got egg in our face because we're not earning the amount of money that we used to earn. It's your fault. Yeah, of course, sure, it's the consumer's fault. It's never Chanel's fault. No. You upping the prices like there's no tomorrow was not your fault. That was also our fault because we wanted to buy too much. And so you kept upping your price because you're like, hold on a minute. If everybody's buying like crazy, that means we can up our prices because we can earn even more and more and more. And I'm like, okay. Now we've come to the point where 87% slump in Australia. And yes, I understand that that is very far away from France. But you know what? It might start at the extremities of the body. The gangrene or the cancrene, depending which country you're in pronouncing it. It shrivels up, the extremities start shriveling up, but the more time passes and the more limbs start going atrophy and they cancrinize. And then you got to chop them off. Sooner or later, baby, you're going to be looking like an amputee from yesterday's brunch in the trenches. And that's what's going to look like unless you don't face finally the reality. Look in the mirror, baby, and say, oh, maybe we should better ourselves before we continue pointing fingers at others for our own shortcomings. Hey, try it sometimes, Lena and Co. at Chanel. It might do you a lot of good. It's also very healthy for the ego. Humble yourselves a little. There's just so many interviews Lena can do to go to talk to people, be interviewed by associations, and everybody's so happy. Everybody's like, oh, you're amazing. You're the best person in the world. We love you. You're the best. Everybody who works for you should be grateful that they're working for you. I'm like, how much did you pay for these interviews? For these people to are all these people dumb? Are they that stupid that they don't see what's going on? Or is everybody brainwashed? Like, what sort of parallel universe are we living in where people are completely brainwashed to believe all of this bullshit, all this corporate lies? Look, it's time to wake up, people. I mean, if you want to, be all sleepy and drowsy and go through life sleepy and drowsy, that's on you. But don't sit here watching, people like me sounding the alarm saying, I don't know, what is he talking about? You know exactly what I'm talking about. But you do you. You just keep doing you, go sleep a little more, maybe you need a nap. You're tired. So go on napping, okay? Sleep through a couple of decades. And then, good luck to you after waking up. Let's see how the world looks once you've really woken up. Until then, never give up on love. Let me know your thoughts down below. And good luck to you, Chanel. Wishing you the best. I hope you earn a ton of money. Bye. This is hilarious. Ow, 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 ow. Snobbery and decay. Says luxury boutique in Paris are empty for 6 months at least. Chanel, Celine, Dior. Well, what do you know? And I want to say one more thing, and we're not going to film this because, I mean, we'll film it now in the live stream, but this is a topic that doesn't get many views because nobody knows about these brands. But Holly Grace, again, Australia and New Zealand. Oh, Holly says, I think a big part of it is that a lot of clients have everything they could want and have wanted, and the luxury stores are not investing into new clients. No, they are investing into new clients, and there is a lot of new people being born, and they're growing into the luxury world. They just, I mean, if you're like just exiting your teenage years and you are in your early 20s or late 20s and you got a job and you can afford something, like back in the day when you started working and started earning your own money, and then it was a question of whether or not you want to spend $2,000 to $3,000 on a Chanel bag. Now the salaries are the same as back then. Entry-level salaries are the same as back then, except now that $2,000 to $3,000 bag is $12,000. So of course the new generation of people who are going to start thinking of buying into luxury, they're not going to buy Chanel. Like I said, back in the day, you enter the business world and you have your salary, and then you put some money aside for those $2,000, $3,000 you needed for a bag. Now the salaries are the same as 10 years ago, or even worse, but the bags are no longer $3,000, now they're $12,000. So obviously, the young generation is not going to even contemplate buying a Chanel bag, and plus all of the fakes and dupes are looking pretty good. And people just don't care anymore. They're just going to buy the dupe and call it a day. So there's that. But on another note, also this news coming from Australia, DFS, which is duty-free shoppers, and it's basically a system that LVMH owns in Australia and New Zealand, in the cities, not at airports, but for tourists can go and buy in those places at duty-free. Well, they're closing them. LVMH, so DFS withdraws from Oceania, or Oceania, I think it's Oceania. When Bjork sings, she calls it Oceania. What it says about the state of retail in 2025, news has just broken that DFS will exit the Australian and New Zealand markets by the end of September this year, closing all T Galleria stores, including the Auckland Airport location, after 3 decades of presence in the region. This is big news and a sign of the times. So, Amelia Kemp, Retail Experience Manager, I think on LinkedIn, is reporting. So here's what Amelia is reflecting on. One point, the economic pressure is real. Brands are being forced to make sharper, faster decisions to stay commercially viable. Consumer behaviors continue to shift, especially from key markets like China, and many retailers haven't fully caught up. And point 3, the stores that will thrive are the ones that feel meaningful, local, experience-led, and curated for today's customer, not yesterday's model. To those affected by this news, your experience, especially in luxury and tourism-led retail, holds huge value in a changing market. I hope new and better doors open quickly. There you go. So, and this Galleria thing, the T Galleria and DHS are owned by LVMH. So LVMH is closing them up in Australia and New Zealand. It's just a matter of time before they get to Louis Vuitton and Dior, because they're also owned by LVMH and they start saying, you know what, let's close some of the stores that we have in Australia. Let's see how it goes, but it is not looking good. Like, we're talking dramatic. Oh, let me film one more thing to add to the Chanel video. Hold on, let me just record this because I want to add one more thing. And to all the people who are thinking that Mathieu Blazy arriving to Chanel and becoming the new artistic director of Chanel is going to be the saving grace of Chanel, I think you are mistaken. I think you're highly wrong because I do believe that the higher ups at Chanel hope and have placed all of their eggs in one basket with Mathieu Blazy. And I do believe that the higher ups at Chanel hope and believe that Mathieu Blazy is going to up their sales again. But what I also believe, allegedly, is that they are going to be greedy again. And I do believe they're going to make a huge mistake by upping their prices again once his / Mathieu Blazy's collections for Chanel hit the shelves and the Chanel boutiques. I'm sure they're going to up their prices again, and I'm sure that these collections are not going to sell. Maybe the first collection will because people are excited for something new, but I don't think that Mathieu Blazy is going to result in this huge saving grace that I personally, in my opinion, think the higher ups at Chanel believe he is. I believe, and again, just in my opinion, that they think that Mathieu Blazy is going to save them. I don't think he is. I don't think he has it in him to be the new Karl Lagerfeld. Chanel needs a new Karl. Chanel needs somebody that powerful with that strong a vision. Like him or hate him, Karl had the strength. Mathieu Blazy is just a worker. He's just hired by a brand to do what they tell him to do. I don't think he has the freedom that Karl had. I think nobody would ever have the freedom that Karl was given to revive the Chanel house in the early 80s when he was appointed artistic director at Chanel. So I believe that this is all going to turn terribly against them. It's going to backfire like yesterday's popcorn, okay? It's going to so backfire on them. And they're going to be like, yay, let's raise the prices. Now Mathieu Blazy is the designer. It's all going to be good now. No. Mark my words. Chanel is in big trouble with Mathieu Blazy, especially if they up their prices once his collections hit the stores because they think they can get away with it because he's designing for them now. But good luck to you, Chanel. And then we're going to cut it together with the goodbyes. Oh, hi, Mahora. Oh, they'll fire him in a year max. Now, I think he has a contract that's a little bit longer than that, but yeah, I don't think it's going to work for them with him. I mean, he'll do some boring classics. They're going to up their prices. People are going to be like, yeah, okay. You vote for Carl's cat to be the next artistic director. And you know what? It would probably do a better job than most other people if Choupette took over Chanel. Lunar says, as long as he designs collections that don't fall apart. Clearly, my standards for Chanel have lowered. Yeah, I don't think that they're going to change their quality just because he's designing there. The designs will change, but I think the quality of their fabrics, the quality of the leather, that's going to be the same probably. Allegedly. Oh, Madison, wait, you like what Virgil Abloh did for Louis Vuitton? Yeah. I mean, I like what he did for Off-White, but not for Louis Vuitton, so. But hey, to each their own. Yeah, Demna for Chanel. You know what, Mahora? Nothing would surprise me. Demna for Chanel would be preposterous. Nikki for Stella, you could do a Dacob. I could do it. They never called. Because I don't suffer fools. I don't play those games. Yeah, Leanne, right? The bar is kind of low right now. Nat says, imagine a cat randomly hitting AI app by pause and producing better designs. Oh, Rastinet at least better than Pharrell. Can you... Don't even get me started on Pharrell. Ugh. Mm-mm. And do we film Loro Piana or do we just talk about it? No, we don't film it. Okay, let me change the thing. Because... Oh, we film it. Okay. Cha! Okay. Hmm. Oh man, like this is a dramatic week, you guys. All of these news of everything falling apart, like, you know what I mean? Like, everything is so dramatic. All of these brands are collapsing. Everything is failing. It's the end. It's the end, you guys. It's, you know, what can I say? It's over. What? Not done? Yeah? Streamlabs? Okay. Um, oh, okay. So, okay. Let's film. Well, LVMH is in trouble again. Do you guys remember just over a year ago, Dior was caught in Italy utilizing, shall we say, sweatshops to produce their bags? Allegedly, and everything I say in this video is for entertainment purposes only, not rooted in truths or facts. Everything's alleged and just my opinion. So the Italian court said to Dior, hey, you're paying your bags that are being made in sweatshops, you know, third-party subsidiaries for like $50 something, give or take a shekel, and then you sell them for $2,600 in the store. Ha! So, under which conditions are these bags made and this and that? And of course, you know, the whole thing came out. Armani was also placed under the court's control of all of their numbers for at least a year. So Dior was caught basically utilizing production companies that do not obey production laws, protecting the workers, working under protected conditions, and so on and so forth. You can imagine. Okay. So Dior basically, Italy doesn't really have a very strict legal system. When something like this happens, what they do is you get a slap on the wrist. They charge you something ridiculously low, a couple €1,000. We're talking about multi-billion-dollar corporations that are then charged a couple €1,000 if they do something like this. So obviously that is no incentive for these brands to fix their mistakes, to better themselves, to better their practices. So matter of fact, LVMH that own Dior, they were like, Dior said, well, we're going to fix stuff. The court was controlling in Italy everything that they were doing. So in less than a year, the court said, okay, Dior can now take over the control of their own brand because they have done what is the minimum necessary, basically, to abide by the rules. And they're going to try to do better, you know. Okay. Well, guess what? Just this week, LVMH is under fire again in Italy. This time, another one of their brands, not Dior, but Loro Piana, is under fire and scrutiny by the Italian courts. And here we have many different reportages. One of them is an article, Business of Fashion, on Instagram, says an Italian court has placed LVMH's high-end Italian cashmere firm Loro Piana under judicial administration for a year after uncovering alleged worker abuse inside its supply chain. It's the same shtick, give or take a little variation, that Dior did just a year ago. Here we go again. It's like LVMH didn't learn anything or didn't want to learn anything because we're back to square one. They've just done it with a different brand this time. And again, they're going to get a slap on the wrist. You see what I mean, you guys? The system is not changing. The laws are not changing. The laws are not being made better to protect the worker. The laws instead are being kept abysmally low. The requirements are so tragically low that even if you get caught doing something illegal as a big corporation, you get a slap on the wrist and that's it. And they're not changing the laws to better the situation for the workers. They're keeping them as low as possible to maintain the privilege of the owners of these corporations. Lovely Italy. So, Loro Piana under judicial administration for a year after uncovering alleged worker abuse inside its supply chain, the latest in a string of cases that have tainted the image of Italy's luxury brands. Quelle surprise! Quelle surprise! Loro Piana, SPA, is the fifth fashion company to be targeted by the same Milan court for similar labor issues since 2023. Units of Valentino, and we spoke about Valentino a few months ago on my channel. We made a whole video about this particular topic of Valentino being under scrutiny as well. Dior, we made a video over a year ago about Dior. Armani, we made a video about that as well. And Italian handbag company Alviero Martini have all also faced judicial supervision for failing to adequately monitor their supply chains. What do you know? The court found that Loro Piana subcontracted its production through two front firms with no actual manufacturing capacity to Chinese-owned workshops in Italy that it said exploited workers. So here we are now, sitting down here, trying to figure out what cute, bougie little cashmere sweaterlet we're going to buy at Loro Piana for thousands of dollars, some case tens of thousands of dollars. Turns out that little sweaterlet cost them $100 to make, if even that much. And the person who made that sweaterlet has no rights, is probably working undocumented, no sick leave, no paid holiday, nothing. Okay? And that's luxury, and these brands think like, ooh, we're gonna get away with it. Let's maximize our profits. No, listen. The reckoning has come. People are waking up, and as much as some customers still to this day love to close their eyes very tightly shut, and they act like they didn't hear anything, they keep buying that shit because they're like, you know what? I want to act bougie. Sooner or later, you're going to start losing more and more clients, and people will wake up, and there will come a day when it will be really cringe and embarrassing to wear these clothes out and about. And then even those suckers who right now are shutting their eyes tight and don't want to see it, they're also going to have to wake up because they're going to feel ridiculous wearing certain brands when out and about. If this situation keeps going on this way, if these multi-billion-dollar brands keep acting like they're more clever than the judicial system, like they're more clever than the customer, like they can outsmart everybody, they can do no wrong, and they can get us to throw at them all the money they want because they're more clever than we are, you know? They're more clever, and we're the gullible suckers who are so easy to manipulate, who are so easy to manipulate into the FOMO of anything, you know. But the time is, look, I have met some very young people lately through friends of mine who have kids and, you know, in their teens. Kids are waking up. Kids are so smart these days. They're not like our generation where we're like the suckers who were FOMO'd into anything. Okay? Like, you could sell us anything. We would feel FOMO for anything. We would collect anything. We would spend money on anything because we have been indoctrinated in a society, in a highly consumer society, since depending how old anybody is, in the 70s, 80s, 90s, we have been indoctrinated to consume, to spend, to spend, to spend. But the young generation of today, they're not like that. They're very different. They're very, very, very different. They're much more aware. They're much more grounded. They think it's really bullshit. They think like, wait, hold on a minute. This is like, why would I spend thousands of dollars on a jacket when I can buy a car? When I can buy a used car with that money that, doesn't use up so much gas because it's a car that is a hybrid between whatever, it can use a battery for the half part mostly, that, like a Toyota Prius. Oh my God, I'm saying weird stuff now. But you know what I'm talking about. Like, kids are much more aware about their environment. Kids are also much more aware today about what sort of shitty state of affairs the grown-ups are leaving them behind as inheritance. The inheritance these kids are getting is not going to be the millions of dollars that the parents have put aside and the houses they bought. No, the inheritance is going to be a dying planet with absolutely no chance of survival, no more winters. We're going to just burn to a crisp. We're not going to have food anymore. We're all going to start eating cockroaches. That's what they're going to be inheriting. And they're waking up to that. And they're realizing that. So when you try to sell them the illusion of a $10,000 sweatalette from Loro Piana being the ultimate goal in life, they're going to laugh in your face. And they're going to say, yeah, who do you think you are? You're so cringe. Like, ew. That's the kids of today. So, yes, I do believe there's hope for the future because people are waking up. And there you have it. Now, how is this going to end? When is this going to end? It's only going to end when we stop spending. That's the only way this is going to end. They're not going to change the laws. They're not going to change the laws to help the workers. No, I don't see that happening. The only thing that can happen is we shut our wallets closed. That's it. That's the only way to change anything. Cedric Goldstein says in the chats, wow, they actually gaslight with commercials saying they treat people right and pay them a fair wage. Specifically, oh, we're talking something else here. But that is also something that a lot of these brands say about luxury. You know, Cedric, when you watch those little videos on YouTube, when these like fashion houses, luxury houses, when they showcase their little ateliers where the little grannies with the coiffed hair are sitting and working by hand, taking a month to create one bag. I'm like, you're selling these, you're shoveling them onto us, these bags. There's no way that a little grandma can be sitting in her little cute little outfit with a little hairdo, sipping coffee. I mean, girl, that is all propaganda. That is all to embellish a situation to make it look like it's something it's not. At least when it comes to prêt-à-porter. Haute couture is still another level, although even there, we're starting to have our doubts. But when it comes to prêt-à-porter, it's about maximizing profits over maintaining standards, quality, and respect for the heritage of the brand. The second your brand goes public or the second your brand becomes about profit only, that's the moment when creativity and quality die. Allegedly. Let me know your thoughts down below. Subscribe. Let's get to 100K. Where else are you going to get the truth on this YouTube platform? Allegedly. Love you loads. Bye. So not CNN. That's the article I was reading, Business of Fashion, published 20 minutes ago. I'm on it, babes. About Loro Piana and labor exploitation. Yeah, period. Racina says, I guess, as for Loro Piana, I guess the workers were being exploited quietly, hence nobody knew. I see what you did there with quiet luxury. That's a good one. Good joke, good joke. Breaking news, baby. Dacob is on fire. Thanks to Kev, because Kev directed me to that article. And wait, where's my, hold on a second. Yeah. Okay, are we filming the Jane Birkin thing or just talk? Sorry, guys. I'm just going to switch to Italian for a second here because cinnamon roll is something really important. And for all my Italian friends out there, bear with me. I mean, you'll understand, but I can translate in a second. So cinnamon roll ha detto, quando c'è stato da votare il referendum per cambiare la legge che renderebbe i brand responsabili per le condizioni di lavoro, gli italiani sono andati al mare. Amo. Io ho votato per il referendum, ok? E ho fatto sì che il mio voto arrivasse in tempo. E io sono non solo in un altro stato, ma sono in un altro continente. Quindi, per me era importantissimo votare per questo referendum. Mo te lo dico, ok. And it was disgusting to see how this referendum went and how people didn't want to go to vote and how the minister is behaving like a total baboon. And that I cannot stand, really. So sick and tired of it, you know. And also, what would she do? Italian minister, prime minister. What would she do to gay people? Oh, she would want me hanging up upside down on a cross in the center of the city. No, people like her do not belong in anywhere near my sphere of love and my sphere of acceptance of people around me. Absolutely not. Just vile. And I saw the video of her going to the referendum to not vote. She arrived just to sign, and she, with that smirk on her face, with like, okay, dove firmo? And she didn't vote, you know, and she told all her people to not vote. Vile. Just vile. And, but hey, that's, Italy wanted her. They voted for her. So what are you going to do? You know, yeah, totally agrees to cinnamon roll. Brown bunny, Dacob eating down. Yes. We skipped the stream lasting, might as well, you know, double down today. But yeah. Anyway. Leanne, no, the stream has not stopped on my end. So I don't know if it stopped for everybody else. For me, it's still going. Unless the Baconator didn't jump in to do something. I don't know. Anyway, are we filming the Birkin thing? Oh, it's old news. Okay, mine is good, says Kate. Hi, Kate Moore. Hi, Akolu. Hi, guys. Did you get my email? Oh, God. I don't know. Maybe I did. Maybe I don't remember. When did you send it? Asia says, wow, Dacob, non sapevo che anche tu sei cittadino italiano. Io sono diventata anch'io da poco e sono andata a votare per la prima volta nella mia vita quando c'era il referendum. Nice. Good that you voted. But the referendum didn't pass because only 33% voted. So sad. Oh, Asia says lots of love from Italy. Thank you, guys. Teresa says refresh your YouTube if you're having issues. Munyama says good morning. Just woke up. Oh, good morning, sweetie. Good morning. Good morning. So, oh, Leanne, I think it's a new system that YouTube is doing. I think it's an ad because I see sponsored in the corner, but no ad. Oh, because now what I've noticed YouTube does, they separate the screen in two parts. So during live streams, you can still keep watching the live stream. And then on the side screen, parallel, split screen, they show you an ad. And then at a certain point, you can click away the ad and then the stream kind of becomes big again. That has happened to me. Oh, you sent in just like that, Buddha. I have to check those out. Why wasn't I told about it? Okay. I have no clue. I'll have to check it out, babes. I'll check it out. Not the Dida. Hi, Akulu. I hope this live you won't be silenced by a cat's bottom. Oh my God. The cat is ready to snipe you. Oh yeah. Oh, Madison. Okay, so you get the ads that cut the live, but then go back to you. Okay, so I've been experiencing like separation. So you have both screens at the same time. They just become a little bit smaller. But I guess they haven't updated that to like every, I don't know, maybe you need to have like the latest version of software. I don't know how it works, but hi, Espresso85. Yeah, I'm doing good. Working with this weird cramp I got here, but it's okay. We're getting old, babes. What can I tell you? Pains every day. Um, okay, so we have the Jane Birkin thing, which is like an old news, so we're not going to film it. But I'm going to tell you this. You know, I was supposed to film this topic last week, but then I got a little bit sick. So anyway, as you maybe know, or maybe you don't know, and this is why I'm not going to film it because I think it's really old news. But Jane Birkin's Birkin, and we got one here. This is not Jane's Birkin, but it is a Birkin. And this is the closest to hers, except not the same, because this is a 35. And she had a mix of a 35 with a 40. She had a 35 length, but she had the depth of a 40. So she had like a 40 deep, 35 long. So hers was like the first one made. And also she had, well, you can actually, you know what? You can go check out my video on the history of the Birkin, where I talk about Jane Birkin's first Birkin with the shoulder strap attached to it and her logos and the fact that she had a nail clipper hanging in her, I mean, anyway. So her first Birkin, the one that Hermès made for her in the 80s after she met the dude in the airplane and she had her Wicca bag and he said, well, we'll go, I'll make you something better. What do you want? She's like, who do you think you is? He's like, I am Hermès. She's like, okay. And so they designed a baglet together. And then a couple of months later or a year later, she got her bag and they asked her, can we call it a Birkin? She said, why not? Apparently, they paid her also part of the proceeds of selling the bag for having the rights to use her name for the bag. And apparently, all the money that she earned from the sales of the Birkin bag, she gave to charity. Really cool. So anyway, now her bag, which she sold off for charity many years ago, I don't know how much she sold it off the first time, maybe 50, 60,000. Then it was sold again another time in the 2000s for 100,000 or something like that. Well, just a couple of days ago at, I think Sotheby's or Christie's, I think it was Sotheby's, they sold Jane Birkin's bag for 7 million euro, round about $10 million. I can show you the bag here in a picture. This is Jane Birkin's bag. It has the JB on it. You see it has the shoulder strap, which is not detachable, by the way. Super annoying, that thing. I am crediting Sotheby's for the photo of the bag. And there you have the JB insignia, the gold turnlock thingamajiggy. I'm not going to go into all the details of the bag. Check out my review of this particular Jane Birkin bag and the history of it in another one of my videos. If I remember, I will post a link underneath to link to that video, or I'll post it up here somewhere. But anyway, $10 million is what the bag went for. And I don't think those $10 million are going to go to charity as Jane Birkin would have wanted to. So this is the first issue I have with this. Somebody bought this because they can. And it's 2025. What is the world doing? This is to me so vulgar. Where has the world come to? People are struggling to make ends meet, to buy food, to put food on the table. And here's somebody throwing $10 million to the wind because they want to have Jane Birkin's first Birkin. Like, $10 million. Okay. Now, here's the funny part. So, rumor has it, of course, Sotheby's keeps, a lot of people that are bidding at their auctions wish to be anonymous. A lot of people also get agents to bid for them. So a lot of the times you're not even going to see who is bidding. A lot of the bids come through phone, or now I guess they do them also online. Like, they really do a lot to preserve the what is this? Did I sit on my hand or something? Something is weird in my mind. Okay, anyway. So rumor has it that one person bid for this bag, and rumor has it that it's a she, allegedly, and that she was outbid by somebody else. And somebody has the intel, and they said that Jeff Bezos' wife, Lauren Sanchez, was allegedly one of the highest bidders, but she was outbid by somebody else, and she was allegedly bidding against Kris Jenner. Now, the reporters have reached out to Lauren Sanchez's team, and Lauren Sanchez's team claim that no, she did not bid on this bag. But I'm like, would you want to say that you were outbid? I mean, you're married to a billionaire. How embarrassing for all your other millionaire and billionaire friends to learn that you could not afford to spend more than $10 million on a bag. Poor Lauren Sanchez, how embarrassed she might feel to think that one of her billionaire friends might think that she could not afford $10 million for a bag. Oh, the tragedy. Again, I say, let's start a GoFundMe for Lauren Sanchez to, let's raise those billions, honey, to make her be proud again so that she can afford a bag like that. Now, allegedly everything, of course, because her team and her legal team claim that she did not bid on this bag. I think also Kris Jenner did not give any statements whether or not she bid or not. And we do not know who bought the bag ultimately. Who got the bag for the 7 million euro or $10 million? We do not know. But the fact that this bag, which is, it has holes on the sides, it's in calfskin leather, it's kind of falling apart. The fact that this bag is a Ghana, I mean, it's there. You can repair it. It still has the sticker marks from the stickers that Jane Birkin put on them, usually to promote some activism thing that she was fighting for, or some charity that she was collecting money for. She would always put stickers on her bag to promote those charities and companies that she was, she was a very charitable woman. And so, anyway, that's the bag, and somebody spent $10 million for it. But Lauren Sanchez says, it wasn't me. Okay, Lauren, we believe you. So anyway, there's that story. That happened this week as well. While most people are struggling to afford bread, somebody spent $10 million on a falling apart piece of leather. Let that sink in. There you go. I don't know why this vein is popping like that. Is that normal? Did I sit on my hand? Maybe I sat on my hand while I was filming and I squished my hand so it got red here in this part. Hermès didn't want it in the archive or as a museum piece. No, Hermès doesn't own it. You think Hermès paid the 10 million? Kolu says that vein is Boachis. Oh, Lunar says, I have a bag in the same condition. I know, Kate Moore. Oh, poor thing. To go to space without a Birkin. I know. ugh, it's just, it's painful, isn't it? I feel the pain, you know, for her and for Katy Perry. Oh my God, you guys, I just found out like a short while ago that apparently Katy Perry, she sues everybody. She sued a bunch of nuns, because she wanted to buy a, a nunnery. She kicked the nuns out. And then she ended up not buying the place. And now the nuns are suing back. I'm like, oh my God. Yes, yes, Madison. And one of the nuns died in court. I mean, what is going on? I'm like, Katy Perry. I'm like, the nun collapsed in court. Yeah. While they were like doing the suation. It's like that episode of The Golden Girls where Rose, what was it? Mrs. Claxton from next door. She was a really mean person. And they wanted to save the tree that was going to be chopped down in their neighborhood. And Claxton said, like, the tree is on my property. Cement is better. I don't need the tree there. Chop it down. So they went to court because they didn't want to chop it down. And then, like, Rose was like so upset, and she yelled at her in the courtroom and said, like, that tree is over 100 years old. How can you be so heartless? Like, why do you want a tree like that to be unalived, you know? And if you don't like this tree, the rest of the neighborhood does. And if you don't like it and you have no emotions, then you can just drop dead. And then Mrs. Claxton drops dead. And then everybody says that Rose killed her. Oh, man. What an episode. Do you remember that episode? The Golden Girls. Anyway. Yeah, Akolu, she wanted a monastery, and they were like, girl, we are women of God, honey. Yeah. Life does imitate art, doesn't it? So, but speaking of life imitating art, we're going to review in Just Like That, Season 3, Episode 7. Are you ready, Ferret? Because you guys, let me pop up the thing. And yeah, oh yes. Hi everybody, Dacob here. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do a little recap slash review, including spoilers, of And Just Like That Season 3, Episode 7. The Big Party. Boy, oh boy, this was a fun one. I mean, first of all, I also watched the podcast that Michael Patrick King does with like the writers, and then where he like HBO Max has a YouTube channel. And after every episode, you hear Michael Patrick King basically for 1 hour talking over all of his writers. So the writers try to get a word in, but he kind of trumps them and he kind of talks over them and they always have to stay silent. I mean, that's a whole other show. Okay. I'm thinking maybe we should also review the podcast episodes of After and Just Like That. But so anyway, he said while he was talking over his writers, he's like, oh, you know, it was like really difficult to shoot this episode because it's very hard to write a comedic party scene, because it's also hard to get all of the main actors and actresses together to shoot an episode, because usually, you know, Sarah Jessica Parker is doing something in LA. She's not filming today. So then Charlotte's scenes are filmed today, and they all film separately. But when they do a party scene where all of them are together at the party, then it's like a big commitment also from the actors, because sometimes, you know, if Sarah Jessica Parker, if Carrie is in the front, is the main character in that scene, in the background, we still have to see Lisa, we still have to see Miranda, so they have to just sit there as stand-ins, which usually main actors don't like to do. It's a waste of their time, and, well, I guess they don't feel special. But everything I say in this video is for entertainment purposes only, not rooted in truths or facts. Everything's alleged, and just my opinion, and no, I'm not sponsored by HBO or the gals, or Michael Patrick King, for that matter. But good luck to all of them. Now, here's what we'll go. So in this episode, and again, final spoiler alert, there's a comedy of errors going on. The writing was really good though in this episode. I gotta say, it was funny. So obviously Charlotte in the last episode finally spills her guts to Carrie and tells her that Harry, her husband, has prostate cancer and they're dealing with it. She was sworn to secrecy. She was not allowed to tell anybody, but she's telling Carrie. Carrie says, I'll be your vault. And you know, when Carrie says she'll be your vault, she's going to blabber out something to somebody sooner than later. In fact, what happens in episode 7, she slips. How? Because Miranda is clever. Miranda, don't forget, Miranda is a lawyer. She can sniff out a lie. It's part of her job, after all. So Miranda, they're all at Anthony's bulge bread shop. They didn't zoom in on Anthony's boyfriend's bulge this time. I was like, oh, what a missed opportunity. But so anyway, they're all there having a little snack. And Charlotte says like, oh, you know, my daughter's boyfriend who is into boys and girls left her. And she's like, oh, I have all these problems, like as if I don't have enough on my plate. Miranda catches that and says, what do you mean? What else do you have on your plate? What's going on? Carrie tries to turn the story around and, you know, try to kind of push the attention away from Miranda, slowly starting to realize something is going on with Charlotte. And she manages to steer the conversation to another place. At this point, Anthony's... Oh, wait, he's married to the Italian guy. What's the Italian guy's name? I forgot. Gianni, Luca? I don't know. Davide? I don't know. Well, anyway, the Italian's mother is coming to town. And she was living in Italy, but actually the joke is she's from some American town, and she just moved to Italy when she was very young. So her name is Gia. But then when she moved to Italy in her 20s, married an Italian, she changed her name. And here I'm like, you could have consulted with actual Italian-speaking people to let Gia know how to pronounce her new name. Her new name is Gianna. Gianna, okay? Not Gianna. So, if the woman has been living her whole life in Italy, her name is not Gianna, it's Gianna. Thank you. Can we get that right? Okay. But she is for, oh, thank you, Nat. His name is Giuseppe. Okay, so it's Gianna and Giuseppe. Giuseppe is apparently in his 20s, and Anthony is in his like 60s, late 50s, early 60s. So the whole joke is Gianna, she arrives and she's like, oh, I can't wait to meet your husband. And, or is he still his boyfriend, or are they married at this point? Who cares? Anyway, she first sees one of the workers that work in the bulge bread store, and he's like a beefcake. Kind of, what a cliche looking person. Anyway, I was a little bit surprised that she was into him. She's like, oh my God, I can't believe you are Giuseppe's partner. And the guy's like, no, nice to meet you though. And then Anthony arrives with his bush of what I believe are olive oil leaves, which interestingly in the podcast they didn't mention that at all, but I'm like, oh, is he like handing her an olive branch like for peace? Because he arrived with a full vase of olive branches. Were they olive branches? They looked like olive branches. She sees who is actually together with her son, and she's like, oh, I see. So anyway, the joke is she is a therapist that works in Italy, and I think she's a sex therapist. She tells all the girls to call her Gia. But Anthony, she says, call me Dottoressa Gianna Amato, blah, blah, blah. So she's like disrespecting him. She's like, you don't get to call me by my first name. You're going to call me doctor. Okay, you're too old for my son. I don't want my, she hates him from the get-go. So the whole episode is going to be Anthony trying to appease her, to make her like him. She doesn't like him. But we're also going to find out later when she goes to dinner or brunch with Carrie, one-to-one talk with Carrie because she likes Carrie. Of course, everybody has to like Carrie. I don't know why, but everybody does. So anyway, she likes Carrie. They go to lunch together, and we find out that Gia, that became Gianna, in her 20s, when she went to Italy, she fell in love with a guy who was like in his 50s or 40s. So she married an older dude. She didn't want to talk about it too much. Maybe he betrayed her somehow, did something to her to hurt her. Now she's probably projecting and seeing her son in the position that she was in when she was in her 20s and got hitched to an older dude. So I think she thinks that Anthony's gonna become as bad as her husband was to her. We don't know. I'm not gonna tell you yet who the actress is who's acting Janna, because there's a reason. I'll tell you later. So there's that scene, and then Carrie tries to pimp Anthony to her at that lunch and tell her, look, Gia, Anthony's a very loving and caring man, and I just would like to let you know, maybe you can reevaluate him in a more positive light. And Gia's like, maybe I got him all wrong. And she's trying to do the Italian accent. Look, her Italian accent is better than Gaga's was in House of Gucci, because Gaga in House of Gucci sounded like a Russian hooker trying to speak something. At least this actress came close enough to the Italian accent, and I say thank you for that. But we'll go. Now, Carrie, in another scene, right after they were at the Bulge Bread Cafe, is walking out. It's a summer afternoon with Miranda, and Miranda's like, what's going on with Charlotte? And Carrie's like, nothing is going on with Charlotte. She's like, something's going on with Charlotte. She's like, nothing is going on with Charlotte. And then they little and then Miranda says, is it the kids? Is it this? Is it that? Is it Harry? And then when she says, is it Harry? Carrie goes, no, it's not Carrie. The worst acting ever. I'm like, oh my God. Okay. Well, I guess they didn't make him reshoot that scene, or they tried to reshoot it many times, and ooh. Anyway, so Miranda's like, so it is about Harry. She's like, no, it's not Harry. It's it's Charlotte's dog. Yeah, yes, it's her dog. Oh, and Miranda's like, what's wrong with the dog? She's like, it's her dog. Her dog has dog cancer. Yes, terminal dog cancer. And Miranda's like, oh my God. And Carrie's like, yeah. So that's why I was thinking, let's throw a big party for Charlotte's birthday, because she needs it. She needs to get stuff off her mind. And there's a little bit of like back and forth. Miranda's like, I just moved into my new place. Let me throw the party. Carrie says, I have a bigger place than you. Let's throw a bigger, better party at my place. Then the whole conversation about the dog happens. I'm not going chronological here, you guys. I'm just going, we'll go. I go as the wind blows, okay? And so they finally agree that they're going to have a party. Fabulous celebration birthday party for Charlotte at Carrie's house. Now, Miranda believed Carrie that the dog has cancer. So Miranda goes home and talks to her new girlfriend, Joy, the British BBC, CNN lady, BBC, what was she? And she tells her, look, I want to invite you to meet my friends. Joy says, okay. She said, I want you to meet my friends. And, my friend is going through a lot now because her dog has dog cancer. Now, Joy has 2 dogs. She loves dogs. So Joy feels some type of way. She's like, oh no, my God, we have to do something. We have to do something. And Miranda's like, yeah, this is really bad. So are you coming to the party? And Joy says, yes, of course I'll come to the party. Now that you told me that the dog is dying, like, yeah, I'll support your friend Charlotte. Okay. Now, Lisa doesn't get much to do this episode. Her son gets a lot to do this episode, though. But Lisa had kind of most of the episode was about her last episode. So that's why this episode, they put her on the back burner for a while. Seema is also not doing much, except we're going to get to Seema in a bit of the party. So as Carrie is preparing for the party, her gardener is finishing off her garden finally. Remember a couple of episodes ago, she had a rat-infested garden in New York. And so she hired a gardener. Seema met the gardener by accident. You know, she has the hots for him. He has the hots for her. But he told her that he's dating a yoga instructor. So Seema is like, okay, so why is he flirting with me? He has a yoga instructor. Get away from me. I like you, but get away from me. Seema is now struggling with money. Apparently, nobody wants to give her a loan to start her own business. She no longer has her private driver. She no longer has her private car. She does not want to take a cab. She does not want to take an Uber. Instead, she just walks across town in high heels, gets a blister every step she takes, or she tries to take a subway, gets panic attacks when she does. She's a total mess. I'm like, girl, just take a freaking taxi. What's the problem? Well, she also can no longer really go far away to the place where she used to do her eyelash extensions, whatever she would do, the bougie stuff. Now she has to go to some cheap store where we see her not arrive, already sitting on the chair, and there's this sister, okay? I don't know if they told him to overact, to be as gay as you can be. But then again, Sex and the City always did have a little bit of an issue with over clichéifying gay characters. And yet again, we got another one. Her eyelash artiste was as gay as they get, okay? And I mean, you're talking to a gay person here. But like, and I know, I'm a sister. But like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like they really, like with the writing, they're like, okay, let's tick off all the cliches. This one hair lash extension artiste, we're going to tick off all the cliches. I'm like, okay, fine, go for it. So anyway, he doesn't know what he's doing. She's hopeful that he knows what he's doing. Long story short, Miss Thing gives her an eye infection, a sty eye. Okay, messes up the lashes all fall off, the glue isn't holding, plus she gets an eye infection. She looks miserable. She goes to Carrie's house to day drink, as they call it, because it's early in the day. Her lashes are falling off. She has like a red stain under her eye. She's like, oh my God, what a mess. Let's drink. Carrie's like, sure. As she comes to Carrie's kitchen, guess who's in the kitchen? It's the gardener. And he's flirting with her. He's dirty, ratchet, sweaty, you know, like a straight man is. He just finished working in the garden. Very, very dirty. If you know, you know. Seema looks at him and she goes, But she also goes, disgusting. But she likes a little disgusting, methinks. So anyway, he comes close to her and says, ooh, what happened to you? And she's like, yeah, my lash is melting. What do you want? He's like, let me help. She's like, no, you're dirty. He's like, I washed my hands. My hands are clean. So he pulls the lash off. It was this eye. And he's like, now for good luck, make a wish and blow. And she's like, looking at him like, Carrie, in the meanwhile, she's like, get a room, you two. He's like, and then he goes further and he says to her, are you going to blow finally? Are you finally going to blow? Or do I have to blow? So anyway, the blow happens. And he goes out. He's like, Carrie's like, come on, are you going to come to my birthday party, to Charlotte's birthday party? Seema is like, oh, I feel miserable. I feel miserable. And he says, we'll both be there. And Seema is like, how dare you decide for me, you know. Anyway, Carrie's like, get a room already. So anyway, the gardener and Seema are coming to Charlotte's party. You see, we're all gearing up to this party. Finally, it's the night of the party. Miranda arrives first. I gotta say, Cynthia Nixon, she was so cute in this episode. She looked ridiculous in her overall. Like, it was all about the camel toe. And she had like this silver overall. Like, she was ready to party disco. She brings a karaoke machine to Carrie's empty house. Because Carrie still doesn't have furniture. She catered food and catered furniture. Coincidentally, the chairs that they brought in are like the similar chairs to what they use at Chanel for fashion shows sometimes when they do the fashion shows at 31 Rue Cambon. And Miranda says to Carrie, I got a karaoke machine. And guess what? It was cheaper to buy one than to rent one, so I bought one. You're welcome. And Carrie's like, oh God. And the joke there is that it's a karaoke machine. Because it's Carrie's house. Boy, the writers deserve a Pulitzer Prize for this one. All the puns. Now, it's at a certain point, it got so cringe. I was like having fun because I'm like, oh my God, this is so bad that it's good. Okay, so Miranda is all excited, all dressed up for the nines. She's like in silver, I mean, awful. But you love it because it's so awful. It's a cringe birthday party, balloons everywhere, you know. Carrie goes downstairs to tell the writer, the British guy with the big, anyway. She goes downstairs, she's like, hey, just warning you, like there's going to be a karaoke party upstairs. It's going to be loud. And then she says, look, I did consider buying you a hotel room for the night, but I want to invite you to the thing. Now, he just finished reading her first few chapters or the first chapter of her book. And he's like all up in her business. He's like, oh my God, I loved your first chapter. It's amazing. It's amazing. And and you know what? And I'm like, okay, why don't you two just have sex already? Because obviously it's his way of telling her, I want to nail you down to the flow. You know, because he's like a very famous writer. I don't know if he would be so complimenting of her writing if he didn't want more. IYK. So she's like, I'm like, you know, look, if you want to get Carrie into bed, that's the best way to do it. You compliment her poor writing, okay? So then she says, oh, come, let's drink scotch together at the party. So he decides to come to the party with her. So he does come upstairs to the party. Lisa arrives. So, well, first of all, Charlotte is the first to arrive. I mean, Miranda is coordinating the party together with Carrie, so Charlotte is the first to arrive. Now, Carrie brings the manuscript from downstairs upstairs, and she leaves it on the kitchen counter. Miranda comes in, sees it, reads the first few lines, thinks not too much of it, but since they're filming her reading it, you know, they don't film anything by accident. They filmed her reading a few lines because, well, you know this is going to come up later again in the show. Like something is going to happen. Either that manuscript is going to get stolen because then Miranda pushes it to another table. I'm like, oh boy, this manuscript is going to go all over the party. Somebody's either going to steal it or it's going to get lost. But then I thought, well, Carrie probably has it on her computer. But then Carrie has a tendency of breaking her computers, as we remember from Sex and the City when she tried to save her little apple. And she had a sad apple, a depressed apple. What did they call it back then? Anyway, well, turns out, no, nobody cared for the manuscript. Nobody wanted to steal it. But we are going to have a confrontation at the end of the episode. We're going to get to it later. So stick around, thumb up the video, and listen closely, because this is where the fun begins. So now Charlotte is there. Charlotte is like, she has a little tiara that says happy birthday. They make a joke about, oh, she's like, it's a crown. They say, no, it's a hat. The Brits call it a hat. They're like, that's even worse than a crown. Anyway. So now Miranda thinks that Richard Burton, which is the name of her dog, of her bulldog, is dying of cancer. So now Miranda is taking photos of the dog with Charlotte. And she wants to make a gazillion photos of Charlotte holding the dog. Harry, who actually has cancer in the show, he comes by and says, okay, let's do a family photo together. Miranda's like, no, Harry, step aside. I got to get a better picture of the dog. So here we start like the puns, the jokes, the misunderstandings, the comedy of errors. It just keeps growing from here. So then Joy arrives. Joy is Miranda's girlfriend. Joy arrives with a big gift, gives it to Carrie. Carrie puts the gift on a pile of gifts for Charlotte to open later in during the party. And Joy comes in Harry says hi to Joy. Joy kind of briefly says hi to him, and then she kind of dumps him immediately for the dog because Joy thinks the dog is dying. So Harry at this point comments, well, here, okay, nobody acknowledges me. It's all about the dog, apparently. So he steps aside. Joy is cuddling the dog, saying, it's all going to be okay. I mean, you guys. The dog is like, well, we'll go, we'll go. So then other people arrive. The girls that work with Charlotte at the art gallery arrive. There's a whole fun conversation going on between the three ladies because they don't have a lot of money. They're broke. They're just trying to make ends meet in New York. And they say, because Charlotte is getting really big gifts. And they're like, I didn't bring any gift. You know, one of the girls says, I have a rule. I never bring gifts to anybody who owns any properties in New York. They're loaded with money. I have nothing. I'm not going to give them a gift. The other girl says, I have a regift candle that I can give. And then the second girl says, oh, put my name on it too. We can both do it. The third girl says, put my name on it too. The first girl that had the candle says, I can't put 3 names on a freebie candle. Like, how broke ass cringe are we? So they have a little bit of a quarrel there about who's going to gift what. Lisa arrives with her husband, the politician now, running for something, and her son. Forgot his name. Matthew? Is it Matthew or Edward? So the son is a teenager. Oh, by the way, Charlotte, before she came to the party, she's like telling her kids, hey, get ready. You know, your mom is getting ready for the party. So we have Rock. No, wait. Yeah, they both came to the party. What's the other daughter's name? I forgot. Rock and Lisa? No, that's Lisa. I forgot. Anyway, the one that the guy, the gay dancer who says he's bisexual broke up with her. She's like, I'm not coming. It's all, oh, Lily, thank you. So Lily's like, I'm not going to the party. And then Rock says, you're going to go to the party. I saw mom cry in the pantry the other day. She's going through something, obviously. The kids don't know that their dad has cancer yet, because Harry made Charlotte not say to anybody, so the kids don't know. But Rock sees that Charlotte is going through something because she's crying all the time. But Lily doesn't care. Lily's all about Lily. Lily. And Rock says, you're going to come to this party. She's like, no, mom wouldn't want me at the party anyway because I feel like shit because my boyfriend abandoned me. So Rock tells her, look, you had every birthday party was all about you. And then she starts listing the cringiest birthday party examples that Lily wanted in the past that Charlotte delivered. And she said, so now you're going to come to this party. So Lily is all dressed up in Dior, comes to the party, but is just laying on the sofa, just being desperate and sad and annoyed and really annoying. Like, I've never seen Lily in a relaxed, nice atmosphere. They always portray her like a total bitch. And I don't know if that's so good, given that, well, she's the only Asian representation in this show. I don't know. Anyway, tone it down on the aggression of Lily. Writers, are you trying to say something here? Now, so Rock and Lily are there. Lily is laying on the couch. She's like, oh, woe is me, woe is me. Nobody wants to do anything. Lisa's son is more or less the age of Lily and Rock. So he comes in. Lisa and her husband are like, hi, Charlotte, happy birthday. They look to the side of the room and they see the karaoke machine. And you just see Lisa's eyes go like, to her husband. She's like, they have a karaoke machine. And the husband goes, oh boy, they have a karaoke machine. And I'm like, why are they saying it like that? And the camera pans to their son, and he goes, they have a karaoke machine. Okay. So basically, he's a karaoke machine hoe. He starts hoarding the karaoke machine. He's apparently a singer, professional singer, this and that. He's a teenager, and the joke is the first song he decides to sing is from the Les Miserables, The Miserables, I had a dream, or I dream a dream, you know. And it's like a teenager who's singing a song as if he's 150 years old and has 50 loves that have long gone. And everybody in the room is getting really depressed. And he's like spilling his guts singing Les Miserables, you know. And it's kind of hilarious. But Asia says she's a teenager. Teens are the worst. That's why that's what they're trying to say. No, Asia, because Rock is also a teenager, but is way nicer portrayed. Not so complicated. Not every teenager in that show is portrayed as a total B. So he sings that song. Then he wants to sing a second song. At this point, Miranda, she's like, hold on a minute. I cannot let you sabotage the party that I am co-organizing. She's like, no. After the second song, she's literally like rips the microphone out of his hands. And she's like, okay, now somebody else. And then she's like, girls just want to have fun. Cyndi Lauper. Who wants to sing Cyndi Lauper? And she's all dressed in silver. She's like, come on, Carrie. Carrie turns her head away. She's like, no. Come on, Charlotte, sing. Charlotte's like, no, I don't want to. Then she's like, Lily, come on, Lily, sing, Lily. And Lily's like, no, leave me alone. And Miranda's like, oh, okay. Nobody wants to sing the song. Then Miranda says, okay, if nobody wants to sing a song, then let us open the birthday presents. Party. So then Carrie, at this point, the writer arrives, and Carrie tells the writer, she's like, I don't know how this karaoke birthday party has somehow turned into a baby shower. So Charlotte is sitting in the middle of the room. Everybody's sitting around her. Everybody's giving her gifts, and she's opening them like it were a baby shower. Now it's Joy's turn to give a gift. Charlotte has the gift in her hand. Joy is Miranda's girlfriend. Joy tells Miranda, I have the best gift for Charlotte. It's basically, I think she gave her a gift like weed munchies for the dog because the dog has cancer. So like those little snacks are meant to lower the pain of the dog if the dog has cancer. So she tells Miranda, I got the best quality weed something munchies for the dog. And Miranda goes, no. You're not supposed to know that the dog has cancer. Nobody's supposed to know. She's like, why didn't you tell me? So Joy jumps, trips, almost falls on the floor in the middle of this round, grabs the present out of Charlotte's hand and says, sorry, don't open it. This is not for you. I made a mistake. This is a birthday gift. I want to gift another friend next week. Oopsie, your gift is somewhere else. I'll bring it to you. And Charlotte's like, oh, okay. Really weird situation. Carrie is confusion. At this point, surprise, surprise, who's missing at the party? Seema. Seema is missing. But Seema arrives. And boy, oh boy, was that a moment. The timing of these like little mini comedy sketches, one joke after the other was, I mean, the way I'm telling them now, they're not funny, probably. But in the show, it was going like bang, 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 like zingers. Everything was embarrassing. Everything was cringe. Everybody was like doing this all the time in the show as well. So I was like, it's good that they're acknowledging that it's kind of not funny even for them, which was a lot of fun for us to watch. You know what I mean? And in betweenst all of these zingers, all of a sudden Seema just comes in looking like a pirate. Let me show you. Man, I love this woman. So she arrived with a Louis Vuitton eyepiece. Now, they explained this in the podcast later. Michael Patrick King said, like, we had to clear legal. Like, and in fact, even in the show, they made Seema, they wrote it for Seema. She has to say, Louis Vuitton does not make eye patches. This used to be part of a fanny pack that I turned into an eye patch because apparently they asked Louis Vuitton for permission. Louis Vuitton said like something to the effect of, you can do it if you claim that this is not our product. And of course, if you're not selling it. So it's so weird they wrote it into the show, but I loved the eye patch because she got a sty eye. The eye got infected from the eyelashes falling. And because the gardener poked her in the eye with his dirty finger, turned out it was dirty after all. So now she has a Louis Vuitton eye patch. I love that the LV isn't even in the center. So funny, you guys. How can you take this seriously? I love it. Okay, so basically, she now has the eye patch on. She arrives to the party looking like a pirate. Yes, Avaris, LVMH disclaimer needed. It was so hilarious. I'm like, I don't know what's funnier, seeing Seema with the eye patch or Seema having to do an LVMH disclaimer for Louis Vuitton that it is not a Louis Vuitton eye patch because they don't make, I mean, it just, this show, you people. So anyway, she arrives and she has like a muumuu on or something. She looks fabulous. And of course, the gardener is there. He sees her, and they start flirting. And she's like not having it because she tells him, like, hey, you and your yoga girlfriend. He's like, my yoga girlfriend? I left her the day I smelled your perfume, like 5 episodes ago. And that's when her heart melts. She's like, oh my God, he's so cute and sexy. And now he's telling me that, like, he left that woman the second he smelled my perfume, but he never told me that he left her until now. So she gets scared. She stands up and she wants to walk away. Carrie blocks her and says, no, you're not going to walk away. You're going to stay right here. He sings a song, Betty Davis Eyes. And I don't know if Jojo Siwa knew that this episode is going to have that song, but you know that Jojo Siwa also sang the song, and everybody's making fun of her, saying that she sounds like Miley Cyrus or wants to sound like Miley Cyrus. I personally think Jojo Siwa did a good job singing. The wig, however, we can work on the wig, Jojo. But, the raspy voice was okay for me. I don't know. It sounded like Jojo Siwa has been a chain smoker for at least 40 years, and she's only 20. You do the math. So anyway, he starts singing Betty Davis One Eye, so he starts looking at her and sings about her eye that he likes. So he starts singing about the one eyeball. And of course, Seema is like, okay, me and my eyeball are all yours now. So they both together leave the party. They are in a taxi. And they're kissing in a taxi, and Seema's, and this eye patch is shifting while they're kissing, making out in a cab. And it did give me old school Sex and the City vibes. It really did, you guys. It really, really did. That taxi scene, chef's kiss. And you just hear Seema saying, maybe taking a taxi isn't that bad after all. That was such a Sex and the City moment. Loved it, loved it, loved it. But also one thing that I loved, did you guys see the scene where Seema is sitting down on the staircase together with the gardener? And they're like talking and flirting. And she's wearing strappy sandals with a heel. Did you see the arch on her feet? Now, for all those foot fetishists out there, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not one of y'all's, okay? But I can appreciate a really beautiful foot. Like, her arch is like a ballerina. Man, does this woman know how to pose. The arch on her foot was like it was like a rainbow. It was like this, and then the toes. Oh my gosh. Wait, hold on. Let me draw this for y'all. And I know how to draw. Okay. No. Okay. Let me. Like we're talking, like, this is the arch. Okay. Like that, the arch on her foot was incredible. Like that scene of her sitting with the foot arch like that, was like, man, she knows how to pose. Okay. So anyway, Seema, I love her. I love her to bits. Like she stole the episode for me with the comedic timing and everything. She's amazing. Wonderful. So she's now making out with him in the taxi. They're leaving. Now the three, chronologically speaking, maybe it happened before she left, doesn't really matter. The three gallerists that work, let me go back to the picture of there you go, the rest of the girls. So the three gallerists that are the gallery chicks that work with Charlotte, one of them has the candle that is going to be co-signed by the other one. But the third one, apparently I found out in the podcast later that she actually is a singer on Broadway. So like she's a professional singer. So her gift to Charlotte, so shady. She sings a song to Charlotte, and she sings it like really, really, really well. You know what I mean? With that professional Broadway voice. And then after the song is over, she says, "And this is an authentic gift from me to you. It's not even a re-gift." She throws shade at the other two friends who gave her the re-gift candle. Because we see Charlotte unbox a candle and say, "Oh, how lovely a candle." Charlotte is always nice. She didn't throw shade at the candle gift. She was still being polite, even though she got a re-gift candle, which probably also has dust on it because, you know those re-gifts that go around years and years and years and they just keep collecting more and more dust. It just becomes really ugly, especially if it's a candle because that wax is sticky. Okay, so now, everybody's had their fun. Everybody has been singing and dancing. Lily is upset as always. Here's the point I wanted to let you know. I was keeping it a secret until now. Gia also arrives to the party. Now, everybody's singing at the party. It's a karaoke event. Guess who the actress is? Who's acting Giuseppe's mother? It's Patti LuPone, the queen of Broadway. Okay, they literally cast the queen of Broadway to be Giuseppe's mother. They gave her a wig and everything. The second I saw her at the beginning of the episode, I'm like, Patti LuPone? Are they going to make her sing? Then Miranda brings the karaoke machine to the party. At that point, I'm thinking, oh, they are so going to make her sing a song in this episode. And then the party starts and the people start singing songs. And then Gia arrives, Miss LuPone arrives. And I'm like, okay, she is going to have to sing a song because she has a confrontation with Anthony. Anthony has had it because she keeps like acting so, like bitchy to him. Like she says, so basically what happens is Mitzi is there as well. You remember Mitzi? Mitzi is the comedic relief at this point. It's super funny. Mitzi arrives to the party. You know that she was married to a gay man. And then he passed away in like season 1 or 2. And then they had a whole funeral for Mitzi's husband. She loves gay men. She knew her husband was gay. Now she arrives to Carrie's/Charlotte's party. She sees Giuseppe. And she falls madly in love with him immediately. Mitzi is like maybe a little bit older than Anthony, but they're there, age-wise. Giuseppe is in his 20s. Or so we're told. I think he's more in his 30s, but who cares? Not my type. So anyway, Mitzi comes in, sees Giuseppe, and falls in love. And she wants to sing a duet with him. Ugh, they could not have chosen a worse song. Yeah, the Russian hookah. The Russian hookah. Of course, I mentioned Gaga at the beginning having a terrible Italian accent. They had to sing the song Shallow or Shallows or whatever that ugly thing is. And so anyway, I know the Gaga fans are going to come for me. Watch what Jasmine Masters has to say about her before you come for me. Because there's a video out there. IYKYK. Bitsy or Mitzi? Is her name Bitsy? Bitsy. Sorry, guys. Not Mitzi. It's Bitsy. All right. Bitsy. My apologies to you, Bitsy, because I love that character. She now comes for Giuseppe. She's like, you have to sing a song with me. And then they start singing Shallow together. Patti LuPone comes in with, Gia comes in with Anthony. And she says, look, isn't this embarrassing? He's like, what do you mean? Like Bitsy, she says, somebody so old, lusting over somebody so young. And Anthony at that point, he's had it. Officially, as Detox would say. Bitsy von Muffling. Yes, that's our good old Bitsy. So, at that point, Anthony loses it. He's not even calling her Dottoressa Giannamato, blah, blah, blah. So, Patty's like, with her, her nasal voice, you know how she can get all nasal. She's like, So, yes, what do you think when an older person lusts over a younger one? Is it sex? And he's like, what do you mean? He's like, well, you sell sex, yes? He's like, no, I sell bread. The way that my coworkers dress, it's just for fun. She's like, oh, so sex is just fun for you? Yes. He's like, he gets all nervous. She's like, does talking about sex make you nervous? Yes. He's like, no, I really want you to like me, but whatever I do, no matter what I do, you just don't like me. She's like, oh, so what are you thinking now? And, because she's like psychoanalyzing him like a cheap shrink. And he says, you don't want to know what I'm thinking right now, Gia. So he's not calling her Dottoressa anymore. He called her Gia. And he said, you don't want to know what I'm thinking. And he shuts her up. Bitsy von Muffling is trying to like suck the face off of Giuseppe in the song. Well, you know what I mean? It's so hilarious. And it's just fun. It's a lot of fun. I just thought it was super fun. And at that point, I thought to myself, okay, Patty, come on, Pat, come on, Mama, take that microphone. Take that microphone. Sing a song. Sing a song for, because also, she was in Les Miserables. You know what I mean? She was in The Miserables, okay? And when they started the karaoke party with the Les Miserables song, I was like, okay, they're telling us that Patti LuPone is going to come to the party later and she is so going to sing something. At that point, I'm like, I'm talking to the screen like an idiot. I'm like, give the woman the microphone. Give the woman the microphone. Give her the microphone. Give her the microphone. The party's over. Patti LuPone did not sing. I'm like, what a missed opportunity. Were they that cheap? Maybe they didn't want to pay her enough to sing. I don't know. But I thought, what a missed opportunity. Like, seriously, what a missed opportunity. They didn't let us sing. Can you believe? So anyway, she leaves the party. They all leave the party. Now we have Brady, Miranda's son, who's also at the party. He helped deliver the karaoke machine. He's there with Miranda and Carrie. They're kind of cleaning up, ending. Everybody else has left the building, and they're having a slight little debrief. Brady's outside throwing away the garbage. Carrie and Miranda are alone in the kitchen, and here the confrontation begins. Oh, no. Before the confrontation begins, something else really happy, funny, sad but funny happens at the party. Oh my God, how could I forget this? Okay, this is the pip. This is the pip. Because so many funny things happened at the party, I watched the episode twice. It's hilarious. At one point of the evening, Miranda, who is hilarious the whole time, I mean, she's so cringe, you gotta love it. She goes to Harry. Now, mind you, Miranda thinks that Charlotte's dog has cancer, terminal cancer. She doesn't know that Harry has cancer. Harry doesn't know that Miranda thinks that the dog has cancer. Like, it's a whole comedy of errors. Nobody knows anything. Miranda goes to Harry and tells him, Harry, listen, when the inevitable happens, I'm paraphrasing here, when the inevitable happens and, death comes, don't worry, we'll be good. We're going to be, Charlotte has all of us. Charlotte has us. It's going to be fine. Don't worry about it. Harry's like, so he's now like, what the hell? So he goes to Charlotte. He's like, Charlotte, we got to talk. He takes her to the side and he's like, did you tell Miranda about my cancer? She's like, no, you told me not to tell anybody. He's like, how does she said something very strange. And then she's like, Maybe Carrie told? He's like, what do you mean Carrie told? She's like, well, I had to tell somebody. I was dying inside tonight, so I had to tell Carrie. But you told, what's the name of the sales associate that Harry told? Forgot her name. Somebody help me in the chat. So basically, a couple of scenes prior to the party, Charlotte is at Bergdorf Goodman's shopping for her birthday, something, something. She sees Harry at Bergdorf Goodman's without her. She's like, Harry, what are you doing here? He tries to run away. She stops him. She says, what are you doing here? He's like, oh, I never wanted you to see this. I never wanted you to see this. Another woman appears next to him. And Charlotte says, who's this? And the woman says, oh, Harry, are you going to tell her or am I going to tell her? And of course, we're all led to believe, again, comedy of errors, that this is Harry's lover. Turns out this is Harry's private personal shopper who buys all the gifts for Charlotte, because Harry says, look, if it wasn't for her buying you all the nice gifts that you like, I would be buying you the gifts on my own, and the gifts I buy you were awful. And he made an example of one of those gifts, and I think he said, if I were buying the gift for you, it would be yet another Van Cleef & Arpels dog charm. And the sales associate, who's his private shopper, she's dressed in Schiaparelli from head to toe, looks vile. Vile. She's wearing dingleberry from head to toe. I can't stand it. So anyway, I was like, oh my God. You can just see that Patricia Field is not styling this stuff, because this is such a cliche, you know, making her wear Schiaparelli. Like that other poor lady who's a sales associate at Birch. She has like a TikTok channel. She always dressed in Schiaparelli, always very, I think they got inspired by her a little bit. Really sad. But anyway, so now back to the party. Charlotte says, you told your sales associate that you have cancer and I can't tell my friends. Harry says, you know what? I'm done. Charlotte goes to Carrie, says, Carrie, did you tell Miranda? Carrie says, no, I didn't tell Miranda about Harry. Oh, but I told her that the dog was dying. Charlotte says, oh my God, that's even worse. And then you start laughing like, how could that be worse? Telling that the dog is dying or saying that Harry is dying. Then Harry says to Charlotte, oh yeah, it's actually worse. It's almost worse for you that the dog is dying. And Charlotte says, oh, I love that you understand me. Anyway, he takes Charlotte by the hand, Lisa, Miranda, Carrie, Seema. He takes them all into the kitchen and says, I'm done with this charade, with this kind of comedy of errors. He takes the girls into the kitchen and says, I'm so sorry that I kept my dear wife from telling you guys this. He says that he has prostate cancer, and all the girls go, oh my God. He's like, no, but we caught it early. It's all okay. It's all going to be fine. I'm just so sorry that I made Charlotte not tell anybody. And she's been suffering through this a lot. But now that it's out in the open, you guys can talk it out. You can feel the feels. Such a tender moment. Charlotte turns to him and says to him, thank you, love. This was the best birthday present ever, you allowing me to speak to my friends. And I thought that was such a sweet moment that the writers wrote in, how Charlotte tells him that that's the best birthday present ever. It's kind of heartbreaking, but I get it. That was a really authentic moment. Loved that moment. Now, fast forward to the end of the party. Carrie is alone with Miranda in the kitchen. Carrie says, I don't want to use any puns here, but it was a joy to meet Joy, because Miranda's girlfriend's name is Joy. Miranda says, yeah, she's amazing. And then Miranda says, and I've seen you sharing a scotch or a cognac or scotch with the writer. You were also like really happy. And Carrie at that point stiffens up. She's like, what do you mean? She's like, nothing. It's just I'm happy for you that you were having fun. She's like, am I not allowed to have fun and sip scotch? She's like, yes, you are allowed to have fun and sip scotch. And I'm saying I'm glad you did. And then Carrie goes nuclear on Miranda. And I thought again, Carrie, there you go. Just when I thought maybe, just maybe, we're going to have one episode where Carrie is not a douchebag. And here you go. We're going to end it on a douchebag moment. Carrie goes nuclear on Miranda, telling her vile stuff like, yeah, well, it's been difficult with, she's like, yeah, no, I mean, look, with, Miranda says, you with Aiden, you're living apart. It's not easy. And Carrie's like, yeah, it's not easy. What, you've been with your girl for what? A couple of weeks? Miranda says, it's been a month. So yeah, how can you even compare? Aiden and I, it's been 20 years. 20 years. She's like saying, like, you can't even know. Carrie's like trying to tell Miranda, you can't even know. Miranda's like, well, come on. The woman didn't know what she got herself into. Carrie says, what? She says, that's how you begin your book. Carrie says, I know how I begin my book. How do you know how I begin my book? Miranda says, well, you left your printed copy of your first chapter on the table. I just looked in it quickly and I let it go. It was an accident. Isn't that you? She's like, no, I started writing that book months before I met the guy downstairs. And Miranda is like, okay, fair enough. I didn't read that long into the book. If that's not you, sorry. At that moment, I want them to fight. But no. Brady comes in. He threw away the trash. At that point, Carrie softens up again. She's very nice to Brady. Brady's like, is everything all right? Carrie says, yeah, everything is fine. Everything is fine. Miranda says, everything is fine. Then she looks at Carrie and says, is everything fine? And at that moment, Carrie just, she levels out and says, yes, everything is fine. Love you, love you. They say love you to each other. She gives Miranda a little bouquet of flowers to take home after the birthday party. Miranda says, Brady, let's take out. Miranda gifted the karaoke machine to Carrie. Carrie's like, what the hell am I going to do with it? And Miranda said, there's a lot of other parties you're going to have. So at this point, after the fight, Miranda's like, Brady, let's take the karaoke machine away. And Carrie says, oh, the hell you are. No. You gifted me that machine. The karaoke machine stays. Miranda says, okay. And they kind of made peace. It was a bit of a kerfuffle there, but they made peace. Miranda and Brady leave, and Carrie is now alone at home, and she's with her cat, with Shu. She sits down on a chair and starts kind of in her mind, and we hear off screen her describing the next chapter of her book. And she says something to the effect of, and I'm paraphrasing here, something to the effect of, like there's a lot of uncertainty everywhere. She doesn't know what's true, but then she knows like some things to be true, and she finds peace with the things that she knows to be true. She holds the cat. In that moment, a balloon bursts with all the confetti flying around. And in the podcast, the writers mentioned that was intended to be Aiden. I'm like, oh boy, shit about to go down next episode. Because apparently they implied that she meant what she knows to be true and to find solace in is knowing that her and Aiden have something true together. That stability, that reassurance. I mean, she just forgave him for betraying her because he slept with his ex-wife. She was totally fine with it. Like, she was like the stability. She told him he's home when he's with her in the past episode. Now she's holding and cuddling the cat, saying she knows, like the woman knows what is true. And the balloon pops like, no, you don't know what's true, because what you thought is true is going to pop like a hot air balloon. And it all just falls into glitter. It all looks nice and shiny, but it's popped. It's over. And I thought, oh, that is sad. But oh well. I never really felt the chemistry between them, you guys. I mean, can I be honest for a second here? I'm always honest, you know me. Blabbermouth. But what are you gonna do? I never felt the chemistry between her and Aiden. I always felt in Sex and the City already that she was leading him on all the time just because she always wants her ego fueled and fed, and he was too nice for her. So she left him when he was at his most vulnerable. She's gonna do it again. Now, maybe this time around they're gonna write the story in a way that he's gonna kind of abandon her. Maybe they're not going to hurt each other. Maybe they're both going to acknowledge that they're not the best for each other. I mean, I don't know. But I'm like, if this story has to go on, if it just like that is to go on, and I know a lot of people don't want it to go on, I want it to go on. I still like the show. I enjoy it. For all the cringe, I enjoy it. What else are you going to watch? Gilded Age? It's like watching Miranda on steroids in Gilded Age. Wanting everybody to sign a pledge to never drink alcohol again. I mean, it's hilarious. Watching 2 HBO shows with Cynthia Nixon in them, both playing in New York, maybe even in the same street where Carrie lives. It's hilarious. Either way, sometimes Miranda slips into Aunt Ada. And I said this in my last recap, because sometimes Cynthia Nixon just kind of slips into her, I love you, don't stop. I'm like, wait, is this Aunt Ada or is this Miranda now? Hilarious. But yeah, it's like, come on. It's fun. I'm glad that they do it just like that. And I do hope that they do a next season. But if they are to do more seasons, Carrie needs to be single. Like, I think only Charlotte can stay married unless they don't take Harry away. Lisa, I think she needs to have trouble with her hubby if we're going to see her story arch continue, right? And Seema, now she has the gardener, but, that can't last forever either. If all our girls are happy in a happy relationship, then we don't have a show anymore. We need friction. We need tension. We need the telenovela, baby. Otherwise, the show is over. And just like that, episode 7 of season 3 of And Just Like That is over. I hope you enjoyed my little recap together. If you have, thumb up the video, subscribe, and join me for next week's recap of episode 8 with Mitzi, that now, I always forget her name. I'll call her Mitzi next week too. Bitsy von Muffling. Let's hope she's back in the next episode. She's been in almost every episode thus far in this season, so she's hilarious. I hope you guys had fun as much as I did recapping it with you. Until next time, subscribe, thumb up the video, and never give up on love. Bye. So there you go. DL says they don't make sense anymore. I'm not sure they ever did. No, they probably never did. But making sense doesn't even matter. That's not the point of this show, Yeah, AJ says like the Golden Girls, at some point they're all going to move. All the girls will move in together. I want Trey back. Wait, who's Trey? Is he the guy who was whose mother was a shrink? So I hope you had fun today watching the live stream. It's been 4 hours. Oh, first Charlotte's husband. Oh, Kyle MacLachlan. Special Agent Dale Cooper from Twin Peaks. Yes, I want him back too. Yeah, Kyle MacLachlan, yes. Yeah, it would be great to have him back. And I think Kyle would love to come back. Kyle is awesome. I love him. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you had fun today. I hope you thumbed up the stream. And for all the content creators that copy my content, I hope you got inspired today. Thank you, mods, for keeping us safe. Hit it, Bubbles.
A special thanks to the mods in the fashion bunker. That's Mahora, Audrey, H, Gloria, Kev, Nicole, and Terry. Bubbles loves you.
And we forgot to do the Chali Wada, but we can do it now. Here's to Queen Camilla. Boy, that Chali Wada. Always spunky, always funky. And now, we'll go. Oh my God, not Adidas says Dacob. I admired by your ability to keep the whole episode in the head and then retell all that stuff. I never thought that was special. Is that something? Wait, is that something? I thought everybody holds an episode in their head. No? Is that something that only I do? Great. Yet another thing that indicates that I am on the spectrum. Oh, hi, Kuma. Yes, thank you so much for re-becoming a member of the channel. Thank you, Kuma. Thank you, thank you. My emojis are back. Yes, Quinn. Oh my God, you guys. Wait. Before I go, I wanted to show you something that I got from Chanel. I mean, I bought from Chanel, but I got something. Thank you, Kuma. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Listen, Linda. I know you all know the tiny little bags. Okay, you guys, these were the smallest bags that Chanel made, right? And you know how much I love the tiny, tiny little bags. I love them so much. Well, guess what? Guess what? Chanel just outdid themselves by making an even smaller bag. You guys! No, you guys, wait. You guys are best. Hit it.
I am obsessed. I am obsessed. I am obsessed. Oh.
You guys. You guys. I mean, no. I'm sorry, but this is it. This is it. This is it. Like, this is it. Okay? Like, there's no more debating. There's no words. Like, this is it. Exactly. It's too cute. I'm gonna die. Living ferret.
I'm living ferret, living ferret, living ferret, living ferret, living ferret, living ferret.
How cute is this, you guys? I can't even. The Labubu with a little Munchkin Chanel shopping bag. Shut the front door. We're done. You know what I mean? Done. Unalived. Desist. So there you go. So yeah, so Chanel created the tiny little bags. If you buy like a lippy, they put it in there. How cute is that? It doesn't get much cuter than that. I don't know. Maybe they can make an even smaller one. But anyway, oh, we also got a Diane ferret. Who's here it is. Diane ferret today is Bubbles.
Nine ferret, nine ferret, nine ferret, nine ferret, nine ferret.
Poor Bubbles. She comes and goes. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing with Bubbles. You understand. But and we do have Linda in the house as well.
Listen, Linda. Listen, Linda. Listen, Linda.
Linda the T-Rex, thank you for being our co-host today. And I think we're missing Cha-Cha-Cha-Cha? Yeah. Green screen popping up, and we're going to revisit our beloved Baby Yoda, who needs a minute. Or two. Hit it, Baby Yoda.
Ciao, 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 ciao. Ciao, 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 ciao. Ciao, ciao,
Oh my God, he's like all over the place.
Ciao.
Yeah, baby, you always know how to sing it. Okay. Oh man, we are crazy up in here. So that was our show. I hope you had fun today. We are almost full with the camellia. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 petals to go. So I think we might complete the 4 petals in the next stream. And then we're going to have a gorgeous yellow one as well to add to the collection. This is going to be super cute. And I'm thinking of also adding some like polka dots on. We'll see. I'll decorate it. Or just leave it yellow like that. Thank you so much for the love and support. I hope you had fun today. If you had, don't forget to thumb up the stream. Hi, Lori. Thank you so much, Dacob, for the beautiful live. Thank you, Lori. And Brown Bunny, thank you, my dear. Thank you, Sunata Dita. Linda's emoji reminds me of that staircase that applied to the airplane. Oh, oh yeah. But that's Chicky, actually. That's our mascot, Chicky, from Totally Dacob. His name is actually Chicky. And then we have the hedgehog, who's the green one. Terry says, hope everyone has a great week. See everybody next time. And also, shout out to Confucia, who's very shy and doesn't usually chat here, but usually sends little hearts at the end of the show. And hi to my mom as well, who's watching, hopefully, and everybody else who's watching. Be safe this week. It's going to be a hot one and a dangerous one. So, there she is. There's Confucia. Hi, Confucia. How's it going, sweetie? I hope everybody is having a wonderful beginning of your week. I hope I managed to get your minds off of all of the sadness for at least a couple of hours. And now, let's all go back to reality, at least for a couple of days, and then we can all retreat back into Delulu land here in a fashion bunker in the next show. Love you loads, guys. Never give up on love. Bye.